up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell him run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell him run it up, I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell him run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell him run it up. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell him run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell him run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell him run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell him run it up. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Nigeria, come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself there getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell him run it up. No sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell him run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell him run it up. No sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell him run it up.
You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex zone. Neighborhood all in your eardrums. I ain't never scared like Bone Crush. Boy, I got God, don't fear none. My line busy, take no calls. Feels like I don't have no flaws. Snakes in the grass, cut those off. Yo, squad shady, my bros raw. No breaks, we go, 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 go. Throw shade, that's a no, 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 no. Go high, go low, low, low. Like spinning in a 644. Cash money like 504. Ball like AD24. No sleep, need more, more, more. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I'm a real one, my day ones. Try speak up, can't say none. Try dig dirt, there ain't none. I make the money that save up. 10 to 80, my save ones. Take to the top on the basement. New car, race on. Fast lane, pace on. With the booyah, that's a flex. Not human, I ain't from another planet. I'ma teleport, might vanish. I'ma wake up, do damage. Join number 7, East Bordeaux. Working all night, need more though. I remember nights I was poor though. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car till you tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Job, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier, finished friends on my face, looking like I'm from the deep. These no Cartiers, pockets deep, bro. I can make it in my seat, bro. Do you, I'm doing me, bro. Making noise, use a beat, bro. I press the button and the doors go off like, thought I'd never make it like no way. I'm the real deal, no role play. My days off, that's no days. No, I hustle hard, young rose. E be the shooter, that's cold case. Those on the deals, that's brose. Got no pay, yo, no say. Okay, this the news, tell them read it. Been the one since the fetus. Don't sleep with me, Tempur-Pedic. That's a no. Spending dope for no reason. Got a ball head, Mr. Cleaner. Heard the big bags overseas, then we gon' go. I press the button and the doors go off like, that money clip us now, the new now looks like, upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like, I press the button and the doors go off like, that money clip us now, the new now looks like, upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like,
Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my posters, say now, I've been humble too long, yeah. Tell them all to stay calm, yeah. Tell them all to move on, yeah. Fucking my posters, say now, they be lost in the sauce, yeah. Took a loss, that's your loss, yeah. Had to get my point across, yeah.
Heard them lasers talking now and we don't pay that no mind. Didn't need to watch them know that I'll be here in no time. Put a candle on it, had to tell them they could blow mine. Lights, camera, action, ayy, shows.
I'm smoking that dope from Edmond. We the new meth in Redmond. We ain't real blood but we brethren. Run up a check and it's pending. She talking my news, we'll send them. Fuck with the fam, you a dead man. Jesus peace on my pendant. And we still independent. ISO, yeah we trending. Watch what you say, don't offend them. They keeping it real, they commend them. People like get your wife pregnant, but I ain't tryna be dependent. I need money never ending. I'm talking 100%. I need the only doing it, you run it. Word. Whoa. Step in the spotty and watch how they panic. Yeah, we the duo, you know we dynamic. When we outside, we be stopping the traffic. Breaking their necks, them they upset. How them boys doing more when they got less? How they on this and how they on that? How they got this and yeah, how they got that? Too busy watching us, they need to stop that. Talking my shit, you know we gon' pop that. See it, I like it, yeah, I'm gon' cop that. When we on top, how you gon' top that? Nah, you ain't got nothing on us. I'm steady calling your bluff. Pass me the split, need me a puff. You don't want smoke, tell them that's tough. Yeah, yeah.
Heard them lanes was talking now and we don't pay that no mind. Didn't need to watch them know that I'll be here in no time. Put a candle on it, had to tell them they could blow mine. Lights, camera, action, it shows I
Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my posters, say now, I've been humble too long, yeah. Tell them all to stay calm, yeah. Tell them all to move on, yeah. Fucking my posters, say now, they be lost in the sauce, yeah. Took a loss, that's your loss, yeah. Had to get my point across, yeah.
Need a light for the ideas, I'm in the splash zone with the brain waves. I shoot for stars up in my aim is straight. I lay in the sand line in the Palisades. I'm Alec Baldwin with the angry face. I'm Christian Bale with the black on black. Never trust these thoughts, I'd rather save the day. But if your man is a problem, then we can change the pace. Mom is right, I need to change my ways. I maybe got the crib under the redwoods. Rake the leaves up from the money trees. Plant the seed front and behind the scenes. I painted the dream how I live it. When smart and beware, they venom. I swear that I'm sick, I've got issues. Sick with the bars, I've been privileged. Bent off a sips of elixir. Bankroll need them commas and digits. My mannered, I'm honest intended. Lay low, not too much for attention. But been had it poppin', I mentioned. This business life, I'm offended. It's cool, yeah, I get it though. Less about how they feel, that's my move. While up in the trillers, it's looking vibrant. The pilot, they know I'm flash shot it. Not much to say about the product, goddess. Go ahead and let them decide about me. State of mind that I've acquired. No question, my method can't check on me. That's just the hatred to fuel the fire. Got chillin', no kind. That's just the way we define me. Chase after mine, yeah. Give me my space, watch me in line. Pardon the tone, yeah. That's just the way. Try not to drown, get with the sound, yeah. Catch on the way, try not to drown, yeah. This life is sweet, my mood is sour. For what you think you could get a rose and sniff. I'm woke, it's lit, they really fake. So switch, excuse all the temperament. You could catch me with a riding venom. It's not a phantom, she ride it tandem. And now I'm the strict, I'm sore, but the flow though tantrum. No matter with the kid, yeah, I'm on to something. Got no kind of chill, lately I don't even build. I mean for real, they know I got skill. I do not have time to kill. The more money I reel in, the more that they feel me is right. But the way that they build this, the reason I fear, spilling my feels. But so what I'm breaking, that's real. Keeping it trill, it's all for the moment I check off the list of these thrills. I'm trying to see Europe, drop hip with the kid. It's lit if you riding the wheels, pivot. Looking at a premise, that's just how I'm living. Put my life on the sentence. Murdering the beat to giving me your life sentence. Only Lord knows what I'm thinking for the minute, so I'm asking for repentance. If the cop of me appended. While I've been the trillers since looking vibrant. The pilot, they know I'm fly shot it. Not much to say about the product, goddess. Go ahead and let them decide about me. State of mind that I've acquired. No question, my method can't check on me. That's just the hatred to fuel the fire. Got chillin', no kind. That's just the way we define me. Chase after mine, yeah. Give me my space, watch me in line. Pardon the tone, yeah. That's just the way. Try not to drown, get with the sound, yeah. Catch on the way, try not to drown, yeah.
Time to run it up. I wake up. Yeah. I wake up, flex, thumb down that check. No drip this. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. I no drip this. Tell him run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I tell him run it off. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, thumb down that check. No drip this, tell him run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I tell him run it off. I wake up, flex, thumb down that check. No drip this, tell him run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I tell him run it off. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Nigeria, come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself there getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name. I wake up, flex, thumb down that check. No drip this, tell him run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I tell him run it off. I wake up, flex, thumb down that check. No drip this, tell him run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I tell him run it off.
Let's do something.
Hey,
yeah, give me a
right.
Lombardi.
One second. Hi, Mike.
Championship.
1 second. Hey, good evening. We'd like to welcome you to another edition of AK on Fire. Today we have a pretty good one for you. For those of you who are familiar with what the news that transpired over the week with Ime Udoka. Ime Udoka was the head coach of the Boston Celtics and was apparently suspended over this week, a year without pay, and potentially will be fired. It was discovered that Ime had an inappropriate, well, what is claimed is that he had an improper, consensual, romantic, intimate and romantic relationship. So Ime is, he's being punished for violating company policy. Meanwhile, the other staffer, who is also an employee of the Boston Celtics, will not get punished. So today we're going to dive deep into the handling of Ime Udoka, in addition to the double standards when it comes to men and women and adultery. All right. I will first off, let me introduce the panel. I mean, he's my big brother, your big brother, and everybody's big homie. He's Rico the Plug. Next to him is the caveman, everybody's favorite a-hole. He is Ray. Next to him, he's everybody's favorite play uncle. Not bitter, none other than Sweet Jones. All right.
Yo.
Next up, we have the one and only from Eating Live with Sly. And we have our newest guest panelist, Bama Los. Please introduce yourself real quick, Los. And finally, we have everybody's favorite male feminist. We have Rico Medium. All right. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so over the weekend, I mean, we all heard about the news, and I want to go round robin real quick before we get deep into it. And tell me, give me your thoughts. Sweet Jones, I'm gonna start with you. What did you think when you heard the news about Ime Udoka getting suspended for a year without pay? Especially when you find out what it was about.
First thing I thought was, man, here we go again.
But every time we start, you know what I'm saying, trying to move up the ladder, man, and make a name and make some progression for, for the brothers or whatever, we get set back, we stumble. And that was the first thing that crossed my mind. Damn, not again.
Mm-hmm. Ray, what'd you think?
I just thought that it was a weird. I didn't know the specifics behind it. For the first thing, I thought is something happened illegal or something. But I'm thinking two consenting adults. It just was weird to me, and I also was trying to figure out where was the other person at, And I just saw him. I'm like, but isn't it two people? Didn't he do it with another person?
Right.
Where is the other person? I don't see him for some reason. That's what I was thinking.
Right. Hey, Los, what were your thoughts when you heard about it?
Similar to what Ray said, I thought something criminally happened, and so I was just trying to figure out where is this other person that the situation happened with. It seemed like she is being protected, but he's been put in the forefront.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Rico Medium.
I guess for me, my feeling was mostly disappointment. Not disappointed in Ime, but just disappointed in the situation itself, because I think that those positions are.
Oh
man!
He's gone forever.
Yeah,
he's gone forever, y'all.
He's gone forever.
He froze.
We didn't see this before.
Another one bites dust.
Yeah. let me let him know that he froze.
Hey, he looked like he just woke up.
Hey, you froze. You froze on
us. I
us.
just fell asleep, man.
You froze on us, so we didn't catch the last half of what you were saying.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I was just saying. I'm sorry. I was just saying it's just disappointing. Okay. I just think that no matter what, it's bad because it's hard to get in these positions. So then when we lose one, it's just gonna make it harder for the next guy. So that's it.
Yeah, real quick, Rico, the plug.
Okay, so when I first heard about it, I just heard that Nia Long's husband cheated on her. That's what I heard for like the first 2 days. So on social media, I really didn't know about the other aspect of it. Just I heard the women really appalled that he would cheat on Nia, and how quickly they took his black card. They say, well, he ain't even a real brother. All of a sudden, he wasn't a real brother. So I heard it from that aspect. I was like, dang, how you lose your card just, how you lose your card just for doing that's what people do.
Right.
It's not. So that's the lens that I saw it from first.
Right. Sly, what'd you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of like everybody else. Like, I thought it was something criminal at first, but when we find out you got two consenting adults, I know we're going to dive into it, but it depends on who it was because, men have emotions are way higher than women's, and, women are gatekeepers. So, she should be out there too. So, but I don't know. We don't have all the, we don't have all the, what happened and all that type of stuff. So we don't know all the specifics. So, I just thought like, man, who cares? He cheated. So what? Like, what's the difference?
Right.
Everybody in the NBA cheats.
Right.
Everybody in the world. Everybody in the world.
All right.
Pretty much.
So, again, like I said, all weekend long has been a drumbeat of the Ime Udoka unfaithful husband story, how he had an improper but intimate consensual romantic relationship with a staffer. Again, it was being reported that a Celtic player who had an issue with Udoka snitched on the coach, which started this whole investigation. And since then, there have been numerous leaks prompting Stephen A. Smith to ask the question, why is this situation different from all the other situations where white staffers have done this very same thing? We're living in an era where you can't trust that private conversations will remain private. If you sleep with someone, they may put your business out on the street. As we know, just recently, the baby revealed that he smashed and dashed Megan Thee Stallion. Sweet Jones, I want to ask, at what point did exposure culture become cool and acceptable? What are your thoughts on this?
Man, that is like probably the most disappointing part of all of this for me. Because I come from an era where things were different. We all come from an era where things were different. Where, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were always taught to be quiet, don't kiss and tell. If you go telling your business, that'll hurt you in the long run, trying to get what, you know, once other women find out you kiss and tell, that mess you up with the next one. Mm-hmm. And it's just pathetic to me. Like, where's the, and I know how this is going to sound, but where's the integrity in the situation? If you both going to agree to do something wrong, then damn, when one person get hurt, I don't like that gives one the license to just put others on blast. I've never liked that, you know? And I think this just really took off, I guess, with the, you know, emergence of social media, mm-hmm. because now women are quick to tell. They quick to brag about who they, you know, sleeping with, and men, you know, they following in suit with the women, if you ask me, you know. Mm-hmm. They quick to put out women and stuff, and it's just like, why is everybody talking? I just think that is so damn, like, dishonorable, you know, if I can use that word.
Mm-hmm. Right. Ray, I mean, whatever happened to, you know, things, you know, whatever happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors. I mean, what you think about this exposure culture?
People being talking. You know, people been talking, but it's just not no camera. It wasn't cameras at first. It wasn't social media at first. Women talk amongst their friends and men talk amongst their friends. I don't think this is something that's brand new, but it's just like catching cops on camera now. They been killing black people, but now we got them on camera now. Mm-hmm. It's no different from this year, from 50 years, 100 years ago. It's just so easy to put it out there. It's so easy to catch people on camera. You can't steal nothing, because everybody got cameras on their house, because that's what it is now, technology.
Mm-hmm. Rico the Plug, what's going on with this exposure culture, man? Like, why can't people just keep their mouth shut?
I think people been telling it on the mountain, but it's funny how it's not okay when it comes to one particular sex. So I mean, I think it's all fair, you know, like they say, all is fair in love and war, right? But it's really, because, you know, they sure going through a lot to just make this other person, an alleged person. Allegedly with this person, but then, you know, why we ain't running and telling that? Why we not putting that out there? Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
That's all. Ain't nothing new. People been snitching.
Yeah, but Sly, wouldn't you say that it's a little worse now that we live in a social media age?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely it's heightened because social media, everybody can get it right away. But I mean, I think to tell you the truth, I think people are tired and they just don't give a damn anymore. You know, like, man, I mean, a secret is to be told. That's why they do it. They want somebody to know. So, but I mean, with this guy, what I heard, I didn't even hear a staffer said they were going to tell. I heard he got caught on a Ring camera because he was just that stupid. You know what I'm saying? So he went to the chick's house.
No, that's incorrect. I got to stop you there. That's incorrect. So what happened was he was monitoring the Ring camera, I guess, because you could look at it on your phone. And she was dumb enough to be talking trash about her husband while she was out right before she got in the house. And so that's what happened. It wasn't that he caught her, that, you know, the husband caught him at the house. No, that's not what happened.
No, that's what I was saying. He got caught on the Ring camera. That's what I said.
No, she got caught on the Ring camera.
So they said they were both there and they were having a conversation, and they got caught on the Ring camera. The husband saw it through the Ring, and he heard it through the Ring camera. That's I don't know. That's what's on the news.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Los, what's your take on people not being able to just, shut the hell up and just keep it to themselves?
Now, when you brought up that a player told, it seems like, as Sweet Jones said, how can a grown man who probably not getting his way want to expose something that should be kept behind closed doors?
Right.
And in that situation, that's very dishonorable, because what are you gaining from telling that man business like that? Like, if it was nothing criminally done, why put that in public?
Right.
What is the reason?
Right. I call that sucker shit, man.
Are we not watching our language this time?
I didn't know that.
No. I mean, we passed the 2-minute mark, so I call it sucker shit, man. What say you, Rico Medium?
I kind of echo the sentiments of most people, but I think there's a couple of things that's being left out. Mm-hmm. So if you talk about the player that snitched on the coach, it could have been some guy that was a bench warmer that wasn't getting no playing time that wanted his ass fired.
Right.
So he would have snitched. I would have snitched. Not me, but I'm just saying, players would do that. Put me in the game, coach. Put me in the game, right? But we know the NBA is very competitive. If you don't play, you don't stay. You got to contribute. And maybe this guy felt like he wasn't getting fair minutes or whatever. So guys will be petty like that. Let's not.
Guys won't be petty like that. That's a very unique. Hey, wait a minute. I didn't know that this dude snitched.
I'm telling you, there are players who don't get to play who will snitch on a coach. That's factual in every league. If they will do it.
We talking about him telling that he's cheating on his wife.
Yeah,
that is a very specific. That's a low down, dirty, rotten rat.
I didn't say it wasn't low down. I'm not saying it's not low down. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying if the guy's not, so I'm gonna leave that there. Mm-hmm. But the second part, and shout out to Ring Camera, I got them everywhere. They work good in the dark. They pick up everything.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. But I will say this is, as far as the exposure culture, what the part that we're missing is that today, what I think is a difference in the past, where people told just to talk shit. Sorry for the language.
No, you're good.
People tell now, because I think telling exposure has been incentivized because it's been monetized through streams like TMZ, The Shade Room, and others. So now, if I know something about you, AB, shit, I can make some money off of it if I run and tell it.
Right.
So I think that's an aspect of it as well, that the exposure culture is being created through TMZ, who's running around in every city looking for everybody's business, and they cutting checks. Ain't nobody gonna keep your secrets when you cut a check. Dudes is gonna rat and tell it. Ain't no honor when you put them zeros in front of a lot of these fools. So you gotta work harder to keep your stuff covered. That's all there is to it.
Right. I'm just saying, I don't know how, a lot of these dudes claim to be street dudes and claim to have like street cred. I don't know how you go and snitch, even if you disagree with what he's doing, how you go and snitch to Mr. Charlie or to the boss man and say, hey man, you see that tall 6'6" Negro down here that's coaching the team? Yeah, he banging your wife. Yeah,
TMZ has paid a lot of people that you did not believe that roll over and give up their money.
But he didn't get paid though. What I'm saying is he went to management, and then management started an investigation.
Wait a minute.
This is the first I'm hearing this.
Yes, this is why I didn't have much to say about it, because I didn't know that a dude snitched. That's absolutely disgusting. So you said a player. You said a player that he knew. He knew him personally.
Right.
A player on the team from the sounds.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I didn't hear. I haven't heard this. This is the first time I'm hearing.
My stomach is hurting. My stomach hurting. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, it's what happened, and that's what I'm saying. It's really disgusting. The only thing I can think of is maybe at one point in time, the player might have been tapping that ass himself. Because you know, I see there's a lot to this story that we just don't know, and I think that the narrative has been one way, and I think it's been pretty unfortunate.
But I mean, are we not acknowledging that players have done some pretty egregious things for time to get on the field or on the court? Whether it's in baseball, whether it's in football. I've heard stories over the years where dudes have issues with big prominent coaches, and coaches don't want to play them. Remember, what was the Super Bowl with the Patriots and what happened with Malcolm Butler? So you hear a lot of stuff like that. And it's not, I don't think it's above a dude to drop a dime, even if it's anonymously, to rat a coach out.
Well, you know what?
I'm just saying.
There's somebody needs to anonymously rat that player out who did that. So we can know what type of person that we dealing with.
You need to go to prison.
You need to know who's in the locker room.
Saying dudes do that, and we would be disingenuous to say that a guy that feel like he was slighted, not allowed to play, so on and so forth, wouldn't drop a dime. So I'm not saying, I don't know what the particulars of this case is, but it could have been a situation like that. I don't know why that seems so far-fetched.
Or unless the coach hit his girl too, and he's like, all right,
maybe that too.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. I mean, he probably would have fought. I think. I don't know. I mean, because if that were the case, that the coach tapped his girl's ass and he went to go told, and he is a true sucker, 100% sucker.
Way 100.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes.
I mean, he should have told him punching him in the mouth. He should have told Via punching him in the mouth, though. You know what I mean? If that's the case.
I stopped liking Kobe Bryant because when he snitched on Shaq. I stopped liking him.
We're going to edit that from the tape. We're going to edit that from the tape.
I stopped.
You're going to edit that from the tape.
Shaq like him right away.
Ray, that was when I stopped too. I love him as a player, but that made me mad.
After that, I ain't like him after that, bro.
Bama Lowe's, man, was
that's good. A low down. That's different.
Hey,
everybody have a weak moment, man. That was his weak moment.
Nah, man. It was.
I love the dude, though. I love him though, as a player.
It was uncalled for. That shit was uncalled for.
It was definitely uncalled for, but it was hilarious though. Oh man.
It was disappointing. Most definitely.
Oh, there you go.
It was.
I want to take.
It was unforgivable.
The zeros and the media takeouts and all that off the table, right? For anybody. Lower level, Instagram level, neighborhood level, fucking NBA level, take your L. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just take your L.
Take your L.
If you're gonna be out here doing some shit that you know ain't right, and you get jammed up, or even if you don't get jammed up, you just don't tear the other person down. Just take your L. If the nigga don't want you no more, or the chick don't want you no more, take your L. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's a different kind of snitch right there. He should be put in the same area with the pedophiles in prison. This is disgusting behavior, man. I didn't like him after that, bro. I'm sorry. And he is and he's telling on something that he does.
Right.
All of them. That's the hypocritical part. Any man that's telling on somebody for cheating, he's telling on himself. He's doing that. It's just disgusting. Oh,
if I go down, I'm taking Ray with me.
Right. Hey, but just say the one thing to say. This is all allegedly, because the specifics haven't came out, and
but the suspension ain't alleged.
Huh?
My bad. I said the suspension ain't alleged.
No, that's not.
Why everything alleged, but that's suspension?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean,
we know who did that.
Yeah, we don't know he did it. Now that the other person is alleged, we don't. If it's alleged, if the ring camera footage is alleged, then the suspension should be alleged too.
Hey man, I'm thinking he got one of the owner's wives because that's why.
Hey, well.
It was the vice president of finance.
Hey, we
it was the vice president of finance. That's what it was.
You're right.
Oh.
Right.
We know who it is, but allegedly we don't.
Right. Hey, so let me I want to play. I want to show a couple of tweets because I'm not gonna lie to you. Black Twitter got on my nerves with their reaction to this. Everybody was, all the sisters are rallying around Nia Long. One person said that Nia Long is Black America's darling, and that Ime Udoka will soon find out. And I'm trying to figure out when the hell did Nia Long become Black America's daughter? Because last time I checked, I remember she had a reputation for being a nasty diva. That's what I remember. I remember she and what's her name, Taraji P. Henson, getting into a little scuffle on the set of Empire because she was very abusive to the staff, and Taraji P. Henson came in to check her and defend the employees over at Empire. I also remember Nia Long having an issue. What's that? The set of what's that? What was that? The Best Man. Yeah, she had a issue on The Best Man. She slapped the shit out of what's his name, Tay Diggs, where he had ringing in his ear for 2 days. She never told him that, hey, I'm gonna put a little bit of extra sauce on it to sell this. You know what I mean? And so I don't know where that sound was coming from. Okay, hold on. Let me, cause I don't know whose mic that is. So I'm gonna mute that for a second while I play. I want you to read some of these tweets, right? So this one was like, shaking my head. It's always a man. Why they're so messy. Another one is, Nia Long has such a beautiful career journey and business to share, and then comes this man. So everything is about men messing it up. This one is a little bit small for me to read. Let me hold on this. Oh, she said it's not just any man, it's her damn man as well. So like everybody is going in. I didn't want to put too many tweets up. But again, like I said, a lot of sisters on social media are rallying around Nia Long and are furious with Ime Udoka, even though they don't have all the facts. We don't know what kind of relationship that Ime and Nia had or have, but everybody's making him out to be the bad guy. Things played out a little bit differently. If you remember back when Jada Pinkett it was discovered that Jada Pinkett had an affair with August Alsina, a lot of these very sisters were not quick to pass judgment on Jada Pinkett. Instead, they said that, well, they grown folks, it's none of my business, suggesting that men should stay out of it as well. Or you had some of them who said, well, Will probably cheated on her, and that's the reason why she cheated on him, right? So, Los, I want to come to you with this question. Why is it that women are so quick to jump to conclusion when a situation involves a man, but feel that we all should not rush to judgment when the focus is on a woman?
Because I think it's their past hurt. When they have been through something or been cheated on before, they carry that burden forever. And so if they see anything in the public eye, they immediately want to protect that woman. Whereas 9 times out of 10, they don't know what's going on in that situation. Like you say, they could have been in an open relationship. I read something that Nia said she really never really wanted to be married because she didn't want to feel like she was being owned. Right. So she was cool with loving him without even being married. Right. But again, especially in our community, women are quick to bash a man when they hear anything of type of rumors regarding cheating.
I read that same thing about Nia Long not wanting to be married, but it could be that nobody wanted to marry her. That could also be the truth, because when you think about it, I mean, Ime proposed to her in 2015, and she said yes. And to this day, they're still calling Ime her fiance instead of calling her what she is which is a baby mama. That's what she is, right? But because that doesn't sound good for Black America's darling, then we call her a fiance. Let me just
say, bro.
What?
You being called messy in the chat, just so you know.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
But let's just acknowledge it, because we're gonna flip the script, right? Because we got somebody in the chat by the name of Peaches who says that what the brother Ime did was messed up, and
what did he do wrong?
And then that's possibly the woman is possibly the type of woman that Brother Ray wants. But what I find interesting is, again, she said what the brother did was messed up, as if he didn't do what he did with the woman.
Right.
Why is it always the focus on, huh?
What did he do wrong?
I mean, he did something wrong.
I'd like to speak on what he did wrong.
Go.
Well, I mean, he did something wrong in the sense that it cost you your job.
Yeah.
And knowing that it's beyond the person keeping secrets. I mean, we got Ring cameras and everything out here now. Like, if you just gonna do something like that, you just kind of flat out stupid. I mean, but what he did was natural, though.
Right. I mean, I'm sorry for jumping in.
No, go ahead.
Let's be clear here. He broke damn near 20 HR laws or rules.
They see, you doing the same thing though.
I'm just saying human resources. Almost in any company.
She was an employee also.
I get that. All I'm saying is I'm not. Let me finish. All I'm saying in any company where they have this structure is, and I'll tell you this, it even goes to the military. In the military, they call it fraternization. Mm-hmm. What they don't say is, they don't tell you can't have sex with a woman. They don't tell you can't have sex with a woman in the military. They tell you can't be intimately involved with someone within your chain of command or your reporting structure. That's all I see. Will M.A., I'm probably butchering his name, is wrong. It's like, dude, you're in Boston. I spent 3 years in the military up there. He could have slaved every woman in the city of Boston. Everybody know he's the coach of the Celtics. No one gave a damn. Why are you doing your dirt in the organization? One, it's like, bruh, there's plenty of chicks there, and no one would have cared. The organization couldn't have said anything. No one could have done anything. But when you're in a business, any business, you cannot have a personal relationship of any type with anyone that reports to you or you report to. And the reason being is that other employees can then claim favoritism. So if they allowed that to be accepted, then, and I didn't even know, the last I heard, she was the wife of a VP.
Right. Which makes everything.
So I don't know.
Which makes everything you said.
Employee, the problem is if you don't address it, then if I work with her, he's showing her favoritism because when she mess up, she's screwing the coach. I'm a dude. I'm not sleeping with the coach. So that's where business is.
Hey.
Why they come down on it the way they do. They have to look out for things like nepotism, favoritism.
Rigo.
That's it. Go ahead.
I feel what you're saying, but it's a lot of BS. And the reason why I say that is she is not his staffer.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
She's not his staffer. Her husband is a senior VP of the company.
Well, what is she? Where does she fall in the hierarchy in the chain?
She is the wife of somebody who they gave a job.
So she don't work for the Celtics.
She works for the Celtics. But here's my point. Hold on. Okay.
I'm confused.
Hold on. This is what I'm saying. Listen. She works for the Celtics. He works
what?
She is like,
let him finish the question.
Okay.
Yeah. She works for the Celtics. She is like she does like travel arrangements. I don't know what her official title is, but she was the one who had been arranging the travel for Nia Long and I guess for other family members of Celtics. So she knew
like an assistant.
Right. So she knew exactly when Nia Long was in town and when she was leaving because she was booking it. Because
I'm not disputing that.
Okay,
she knew his room number.
Right.
Okay.
So what I'm saying to you is that number one, they both work for the Celtics, but only one person is getting punished. She doesn't.
Okay, but what I'm asking you is this: does she have any reporting? And this is what
Yes,
I'm talking
yes,
about.
she
When you
does.
do-
Yes, she
everybody
does.
knows. Everybody knows what a company, where they do the hierarchy.
Structure.
When the,
Yeah.
So the bottom line is like, is she in his chain?
Yes,
where he
yes.
can have
Okay.
is.
Slide. Since you say that she is, explain why you feel she is.
So come on.
I'm only saying she is because I'm going off what you guys are saying. If you're saying she's booking things for Nia Long, she's getting it from him. So
No. Come on.
man.
That doesn't make. Hold on. I want to mute you. That
Does that for the wife of all the players.
Hold on 1 second.
To everybody.
One second. So that doesn't necessarily mean that because she makes his travel plans that she works directly for him. Because that would be like saying that everybody that she makes travel plans for, she works directly for that person.
Somewhere under him, he's calling the shots. Calling the shots.
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Well, how does she know?
So you're saying that he hired her?
How does she know who Nia Long is to him? How does she know that? He had to tell her. He had to.
You're right.
And it's public information.
Right.
Not a relationship. You wouldn't know until he told you.
So wait a minute. So
We knew that.
Udoka and Nia Long, I'm saying, are public information.
So you telling me that because he makes because he goes to her to make travel arrangements for Nia Long, which that's her job. You're saying that just because he does that she works for him. So every Celtic player that goes to her to make travel plans for their
he's the coach. He's not a Celtic player. He's a coach. Not only is he a coach, he works for the Boston
so
Celtics.
let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. Are you saying right now that Ime Udoka had the power to hire and fire her?
Yeah, I think he might have.
Wait.
No. Hold on. Let him answer.
Absolutely not.
Let me answer that. Because I keep saying this, and we don't have the facts. Now, all other players like Matt Barnes have came out and backed him and then recanted it because they said he was doing things that we don't approve of. So he might have been blocking stuff. I don't know. And he accepted, a suspension.
Bro, there's a huge difference between a coach. Well, let me just even put the coach right in there with the players. The players, a coach, and someone who is married to one of the owners of the team. It's a huge difference.
Can we agree to one thing? Let me ask you guys this. Because what I last heard was it was reported, and I don't know, it was reported that they warned him before about his relations with team staffers, and they had warned him to stop.
They warned him before.
I never heard that.
I never heard that either.
That's what I did read.
No, hold on. They warned him before about his relations with that very same person.
So what are we talking about then? If I tell you, Rico, stop fucking with Susie, and you keep fucking with her, that ain't my fault for taking action.
We're talking about.
Well, no.
Hold on. We're talking about the head coach.
But they warned you.
Hold on.
Stop it.
Yes. Okay. I got you. We're talking about a black head coach turning down the sexual advances of a white woman who married. Let me finish. We're talking about a black head coach turning down the advances of a horny white woman who makes travel arrangements and is the wife of someone who can fire him.
But you just said she. Oh my. Okay.
Do you hear
Abraham? You explain this one.
Hey,
you hear what I'm saying?
Come on, AK.
I'm telling you what I'm saying.
You hear what I'm saying?
What I'm
your
saying.
Your boss's wife wants to have sex with you.
Okay.
Right.
What's your stance?
He had no choice.
What is your stance?
He was pressured,
bro.
Because that's what they.
This is 2022, right? This is 2022, not 1922, right?
No, let me. No. 2022, and ain't nothing changed. Your boss's horny white wife.
Okay.
Wants to have sex with you, and she makes your travel arrangements. What is your stance?
She getting Udokanized.
What is your stance? What is your stance, bro?
Look.
Yeah. He gonna hit it.
You ain't answering the question. What is your stance?
He hitting it like a home run in the ninth inning. He hitting it. That's what he doing. Right. Just like everybody gonna hit it.
Bro, here's the thing. You say no, it's gonna be an open casket for you.
No, but here's the thing.
Let me remind you of Emmett Till.
No. What you're saying is absolutely true. But the reason why I'm doing it isn't because I fear for my job. I'm doing it because, like we said, because I'm a fucking man.
Exactly.
I'm going to do it.
Exactly.
But not because I'm thinking about my job. I'm
Yeah,
thinking about something else, is what I'm saying.
You thinking about something. You thinking about something.
Let me tell you something.
But not my job.
Let me tell you something.
Where the mistake is
let me tell you something. I bet any amount of money that brother had way better options of people to sleep with than that woman.
That's right. Which is why I don't understand. Which is why
you gotta understand.
But listen, Rico. Here's the deal. Now, if it played out the way that you explained it, that would be one thing. Now, what if we come to find out? Oh, she didn't pursue him. He pursued her.
Okay. Hold on. Let me stop you right there. Let me stop everybody right there. Hold on, Rico. Hold on, Rico. Let me stop everybody right there. What I'm trying to understand is why is the suppositions, all this why is all the negative supposition going against Ime? What if it was this woman? Because you all know that some of them folks, they can be real nosy and be in your business. And they ask, they say, well, I make your girl's travel arrangement. She's never here. I know you lonely. You don't get lonely sometimes. Isn't that a possibility that she came to him?
It's happened to me.
Yeah.
Isn't that a possibility?
It's all her fault. It's all her fault.
It is.
Thank you.
She gatekeeper. I was thinking that he raped somebody. I thought he raped somebody.
No, don't use that word. In the YouTube be flagging. So you use violate or grape or something like that.
I thought he violated a woman. Okay, I thought he sexually violated a woman. Right? She is the gatekeeper. If she says no and he says okay, it don't happen.
Okay,
it don't happen.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like,
Sly, we gonna get to that. We gonna get to that. And
not only is she the gatekeeper, but she can get keys to his room.
We gonna get to that. So Rico, with a plug, I want to ask you: aren't women in most situations given the benefit of the doubt when men are often presumed to be guilty until proven innocent? Your thoughts?
Bro, you see that? It's flat out. Yeah. They are always the victim. You cannot be a victim. You are a heterosexual male. Period.
Right.
It's just like you gotta have an ironclad case. Especially if Rico Young is the judge.
Hey, okay. Well, since you pointed him out, and I saw you shaking your head.
Yeah,
Rico,
that's why I did it.
Why were you shaking your head?
What I was saying is that is true if it's against a woman, but that's not true if it's a man on man, the crime.
Man on man.
Victim if it's man on male. A crime. I'm not talking sex. I'm just or.
Well, I mean,
I'm talking about any type of crime.
We're not
But it's
talking
gotta
about
be.
But we're talking about SCX, then yes, the man can't be the victim. They're gonna always take the favor of a woman. I agree.
That's what we're talking about, and
I
that's
agree.
dirty.
I agree 100% with you, sir. I agree. You're right.
It's a lot of female perverts out there. It's a lot of female perverts out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just throwing it
I
out
don't
there.
think it. Okay,
All of them perverts. No, they perverts.
There are some. I agree.
Don't say that.
Hey,
So
more than some.
He said he don't think so.
I'll take the
So
L.
you think that half the men on this panel didn't lose their their little purity to an aggressive female?
You see, in other words,
No, I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you. No, because I know I'm taking back to me eons ago. I was 12 years old when I lost my purity.
Yeah,
I was 12.
To the babysitter, huh?
No, to another little pissy 14-year-old, 13, 14-year-old girl.
Well, she was a perv.
Yeah.
Nah, not really, because I was standing in line. It was about a dozen.
You
of
free.
them.
Here come confessions.
hey, Sweet Jones. Let me bring in Sweet Jones. So Sweet Jones, what's your thought, man? I mean, isn't there like some type of bias, man, where we generally tend to see women as innocent until proven guilty, where we see men as guilty until proven innocent?
Of course. I mean, there's no debate about that. I don't even know if you could find a woman who would disagree with that.
I'm sure you can find some.
I would hope not. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt on that particular question. They know, just like we know, that with them, you know what I'm saying, they're protected with white gloves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Women are, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are thought of as soft, and we need to be gentle with them and so on and so forth. So we can't rush to judgment when it comes to them. And yes, a lot of women, you know, they have situations where that, you know, that works against them. You know what I'm saying? Where people don't want to believe them.
Right.
And they come forward with certain stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
And but at the end of the day, us, if we're attached to it, we did it.
Right.
And we got to explain how we didn't do it. We got to explain our way out of it. We got to have some evidence. We got to have some facts. If they say they didn't do it, that's just what you better go with.
Right.
Yeah.
You better have some cold hard facts and everything to prove that they did do it.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, even if you prove they did it, it's gonna be the fault of a man somehow.
Okay.
We coerced them. We made them. We pressured them.
Hold on one second.
That kind of
Hold on one
jazz.
second.
Yeah.
I want to ask for those of you who are in the chat, man, just go ahead and click that like button. Do it for the algorithm. Go ahead and click that like button for us one time. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to make sure people were hitting the like button. Go ahead, Sweet Jones. I didn't mean to cut in.
Oh no, I think I was pretty much done. Yeah, man. We guilty until proven innocent, and they innocent until proven guilty. Right. No doubt about it.
Right.
They innocent. Innocent after being proven guilty.
Hey, Los. What are your thoughts on this? You know, in psychology, there is it's a phenomenon, and it's called "Women Are Wonderful." Right? In psychology and sociology, it's called "Women Are Wonderful" phenomenon. And what it says is that no matter how many men you test, they will always view women as good emotionally, spiritually. There's just an inherent bias towards seeing women in a positive light and seeing men in a negative light. Do you think this "Women Are Wonderful" phenomenon is taking place in this situation? Your thoughts?
I would say, yeah, it has to be, because she's not being put on the forefront. And so if you're protecting her, and I also read that the reason why it came back up was because he made some unwanted comments towards her. Now, if the player outed the situation back in July, and I guess they supposedly reprimanded him, but then the woman is still having convo with him, to me it seems that the husband told her, look, you need to say this. so that we can make this go away. Like I think the husband wanted him fired.
I agree with you.
Very
100%.
bad.
Well, to be fair, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And it's like he knew he couldn't get him fired. So he said, you know what? You need to take this route, say this, and then that's how it'll be in public. Because that phenomenon is playing right there. It's like, oh, she's lily white or whatever, and she needs to be protected. So if she say that he came at her in a certain way, now here comes the issue.
Hey, right. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I want to ask you specifically the question that you brought up, the psychology analysis of women are wonderful, right? Mm-hmm. And I believe it's true. Mm-hmm. So I'm not disagreeing with anybody, or that. I'm not even disagreeing with that, but I'm asking because it posited to my mind, like, well, as a society, isn't that what we do? If there are there any other fathers on the panel? And if you're fathers, do you have sons and daughters?
Yeah.
And do we treat them equally? So I think even that woman is wonderful psychology. It's not like when they become women. That starts when they're children.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just bringing that into the conversation that we start that when our daughters are little girls.
Yes.
So then when they become women, like now we're crying about the very shit that we helped foster and create.
Right.
So I just wanted to put that out.
No, I mean, There's no argument from me there. I mean, okay. I agree with that.
Okay. Actually, I love the idea or the thought of thinking of women as wonderful because I don't want to be hopeless out here, right? but I want the women to actually try to embody that. You know what I mean? Like. Don't be out here cutting up because you can always be viewed as wonderful, you know.
But I'm just pointing out that like we create that dynamic where women are to be looked at differently than boys because we do that with our children. So then when they go into adulthood and they present that way, then we like, oh, it's not fair because she's a woman. Why because we ain't been doing that our whole fucking life. So now you want to do it that she's 18, but you didn't do it for the first 17 years. Right. It's a little bit,
I get where you're going with that, but
that's all.
Wrong is wrong. Fair is fair. You're gonna keep on talking about if two men of color had violated some other rule on the team, you would have heard both of their names.
But what I'm saying is, if we're going to fix a problem, then we need to fix it at childhood. And we need to say, are we as fathers prepared to say we're going to treat our daughters the same way we treat our sons?
All right, let me ask you this.
That's all I'm asking.
Okay, yeah, you're a father, you got daughters, you love them to death, right? But your daughter, I mean, you give her all the little mushy talk and all that stuff, but she cutting up, she do something wrong. Are you not going to put her in her place?
I mean, I'm just asking the question. That's it. It's
right. I'm asking the question though.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still spoiling the shit out of my girl. I'm
right, but if she cutting up,
yes, I'm gonna be disappointed. I'm gonna be angry. I'm gonna jump in her ass, but. Exactly. What I'm gonna do to them boys is gonna be 100 times worse.
Where's the disappointment, anger, and the jumping in the ass of the alleged?
Yeah.
He said.
But Rico, what I'm saying is, I'm still gonna be 10 times harder on the boys. I'm still gonna be.
I see what Mrs. Young saying.
That's how I see
it. I get it. I get it. I'm with you.
But that's all he's saying. But I think a lot of that stuff we talking about, I'm a real believer in that innate thing. And we just want to protect women. And we can't stop doing it. It's just not something you can just turn off. You can't just stop doing it. So we automatically look at them as we all heard sugar and spice and everything nice. Then you hear about boys being rats and snails and puppy dog tails. See, we already look at each other as dirty early. We stopped kissing our boys real early, and we just we damn near keep our girls in forever. So I don't think it's something that we think on a conscious level. I think it's a subconscious thing. We automatically subconsciously want to protect him. I mean, just look at all of the cases that you have women that accuse men to have raped them, like those women that accused the Duke lacrosse players of doing something. That chick that did that, and they lost everything. They lost their scholarship, everything, and it was too late by the time they found out and proved that they had done nothing at all, but they lost everything because we put a label on them and said they're wrong because they are men, she's right because they're women. And it's the reason why I feel the way I feel about a lot of these opinions is because that's just how society runs. And women know that and take full advantage of it. They malicious once they find out they could do anything they want to do, they are very malicious in them attempts once that happens. And that's why I'm so hard on them.
I think, okay, so if you look at this panel, this is a panel full of men, right? I think we can all agree that we're gonna always want to save the women, right? I mean, that's just it. Me, like all the stuff I can say out of my mouth, I'm probably one of the most vicious people if you do something to a woman in front of me. I just can't deal with it. Like I might talk to them in a way that they don't appreciate on the show. I'm not disrespectful, but they just, they don't want to hear. They just want me to be, I don't know, massaging or stroking their egos or whatever. But bottom line, like I'm not good with seeing a woman being mistreated.
Yeah.
In my presence, right? But so I think that collectively men still get it. But the problem is that the women don't do the same for the boys like they used to do. Women, I was telling someone recently, one of the most impactful things that happened to me in my life was this 2 women at different times referred to me as like their hero. And like, man, I'm telling you, they gave me a pure, like, man, you wouldn't have wanted to be a dude and be anywhere near me after I got called the hero. Yeah, I went outside and it was a problem. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't have wanted to be you wouldn't have wanted a problem with me those days because I was going to definitely be over the top. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so I think that a lot of women have gotten very comfortable with just tearing down men. And then when men simply state what the women are doing to us, we get charged with tearing them down. But they still have that comfort. They know they can go out here, get in some stuff, and a bunch of men are going to come save them. They can go out here, buy a car that's too expensive. They can call dudes and somebody will save them. They can get a leaky roof, somebody will save them. We ain't got nobody to call, man. Right. We ain't got to call.
Carlos, to piggyback off of that where we let me see. Hold on, give me 1 second. Where we talk about how men are guilty until proven innocent, and women are innocent until proven guilty. And I wanna show a video of an about face that Matt Barnes did. That Matt Barnes initially he came out and he was in full support of Ime Udoka. He thought that they were that the Boston Celtics were too harsh in their punishment. And when he found out a little bit more, he did an about face. And well, let's play the video.
They won't come out and say it. And since I'm a part of the media now, and I try not to be like everyone else, I try to, report and talk with facts and honesty. And I clearly have to say last night, without knowing all the facts, I spoke on Ime Udoka's defense. And after finding out the facts after I spoke, I erased what I posted because this situation in Boston is deep, it's messy, it's 100 times uglier than any of us thought, and that's why I erased what I said. Some things happened that I can't condone, I can't back, and it's not my place to tell you what happened. If it ends up coming out, it ends up coming out. But that was the reason why I erased my post last night, because after I posted it, I got a call from someone who had all the details, and the shit is deep. So, man, praying for everybody involved. You know, hope everyone gets through this. And I saw a lot of blogs picked up what I said, even though it was only on my page for like 2 minutes. So hopefully they pick this up too, for me being wrong and jumping out there without the facts. So that's where I'm gonna leave it. God bless, and I hope everybody.
Okay. And so he actually got his wish. I mean, the folks did pick it up, and they took it and ran with it. They said that even Matt Barnes is saying that it's 100 times worse based on what he heard. And you have to consider the source. Now, first of all, you know, I'm a little suspicious that this person called Matt Barnes out of everybody. Why didn't this person call Kendrick Perkins? Why didn't this person call Paul Pierce, who have an affiliation with the Boston Celtics? Why?
Everybody has their sources.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Everybody has their sources. But what I'm saying to you is this. You know, Matt Barnes saying that this is 100 times worse is because the same shit happened to him with his coach sleeping with his wife and then eventually marrying his wife. So, I mean, you have to consider the source. Yeah, of course he's going to say, yeah, it's 100 times worse, because guess what? Derek Fisher, he did my old lady like that.
But that was already something that he had heard.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what? He was on Udoka's side.
Right.
Yeah.
Then he got more information.
Right.
Whatever that was.
Right. The information was that he slept with somebody's wife.
No, that was up front.
It was already out. And
he
plus
had that information up front. Like most everybody got that up front and took the same, you know, stance that a lot of us are saying, like, why is he getting fired for this? There's two consensual adults that had an affair or an encounter or whatever it was. That was the initial stance of, I mean, the initial, you know, news that was, you know, broke on the situation. Now, if he gets some more information that is quote unquote 100 times worse, and you know, I don't know about y'all, but I know what that sounds like to me.
Yeah.
He wants to get out in front of it. To say, you know what, I ain't with that. Take me out.
Is a suspension without pay or with pay?
It's half.
It's half of his pay.
Half of his pay.
Hey man, niggas gonna pay me a year, half my salary for doing nothing.
No, he did some. Yeah, right.
But I'm saying, for the next year, he ain't got to do shit but sit home and collect half his salary.
If they fire him, then he won't get. They have to pay him everything.
What I'm saying is, which one of you niggas ain't gonna sit home for 50% of your pay and do nothing?
No, I'd rather go work and get all of my money.
Or would you rather get fired and get zero?
If they fire me, they have to pay me everything.
But they got him for cause. They got him for cause.
Yeah,
that's why he accepted the suspension. He accepted the suspension because he knew that they had him for cause.
But we're not talking about why he at home.
Right. So I'm just trying to frame it. So I'm saying, okay, I don't know, and here's my thing is like, he can't get back because he did what he did. Are we disagreeing that he did something? Because they didn't suspend him for nothing.
But the Celtics put out consensual.
Here's the thing. You can still be terminated for a consensual relationship with an employee within your chain of command.
You're right. I know.
I was
in the military.
The consensualness means nothing.
Okay, but
you can't fuck your boss.
I thought we were talking about the video AK just played.
Yeah.
I thought that's what we was talking about. Now we're going off the rack. We're going off the rails.
But the point is that we're
going off the rails again, Rico.
No, but I'm saying is, are we being stuck on the point of consensual, or are we being stuck on the point of did he do something that was an offense to get him suspended or not?
Okay,
because if he didn't do anything to get suspended, I think it's unjust. But if he did something to get suspended,
well, here's my thing. And let's jump back on to the video. Right. And Sweet Jones, if you have a little bit more to add, then please do. If not, then no worries. Hey, that's what we do over here. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do. So, if Sweet Jones, if you don't have anything more to add, then Los, go ahead and.
No, only thing I want to say, because I want to, I just want to say it again in case it was missed. Mm-hmm. Whatever Barnes heard in the beginning, he was with it because he know what he did when somebody messed with his old work. He was with it, so he wrote. It was like us. Shit happened, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where he was at. They was two consensual adults. They did what they did. Don't take the brother job from him. That's what I'm gonna say. He was at. Mm-hmm. He heard what he heard. And when you start shouting out 100 times worse, like what could be 100 times worse than a consensual situation? What could be 100 times worse?
Right.
Okay, so everybody can have a different answer to that. But I know when I hear that, if it's what I think it is, or anything close to it, then he did right by getting out the way of that, getting out in front of that. Because he don't want to come off like he condoning what's 100 times worse.
But can I ask you a question? Is it different with Matt than what this is? Matt, you're saying it's the same.
Yeah, no, it is different. The thing is, here's the thing with to piggyback on Sweet Jones. If everybody in sports were penalized for having an affair, we wouldn't have sports. So he did something else. There's something else he did that they're like, hey man, you know what? We told you before, we can't do it. Because something's gonna come out. Something's coming out. And he got out. Anybody that run away from a problem that fast without standing up and saying, hey man, like, he did something. And he don't want nobody to know. And he like, let me just get out of the limelight. I'll let it die down for a year. Everybody start talking about it. And I'll come back and things will be good. So there's something he did that he don't want nobody to know.
Right.
There's a reason why that woman ain't being shown. There's a reason. They're not just doing it just not to do it. There's a reason.
It's a reason why he going somewhere and shutting the hell up.
Yeah, there's a reason.
It's behind. He want to do it out of respect for everybody else. No, he might also be doing that shit to say, keep his ass out of any further trouble.
Sweet John, can we remember what the Matt Barnes situation was? Matt Barnes was a player.
Yes.
I for the people who may not know, Matt Barnes was a player for the Lakers who played with Derek
Fisher
in the past,
who was also the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
They were teammates
and friends.
And friends. So I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, this is a little bit different because I don't want people to think it's the exact same thing.
I hope nobody.
They were teammates and they were friends.
We don't know if he knew that guy. He might have knew that person too.
And Matt Barnes was married to whatever the trick name was, and had twins by her. Had a couple of kids.
This might be the same.
It could be the same. It could be
the same. But the difference is, at the time when Derek Fisher started dating his wife and
ex-wife,
I don't think he was what the hell was Derek Fisher?
He was
still playing ball.
So he was a player.
And then he had just retired a year after.
Okay. So
WNBA.
So the dynamic is, that's a dirty ass player. That's like a coworker screwing your coworker.
And that's
why Matt Barnes wanted. But I'm saying that's why Matt Barnes wanted to go put hands on him. But that wasn't a coach. Derek Fisher was not a coach for the Lakers.
No, but what if Matt Barnes is hearing that Udoka and this vice president were cool or had a rapport or whatever?
Right, now that gotta come out.
You doing the same thing to this dude that Fisher did to me.
But don't we need that to come out before we sit there and say they're the same thing?
This whole conversation is a bunch of speculation, bro.
Right. I agree. That's what I'm saying.
That's why I said allegedly.
Here, what if I'm the vice president and I don't know you banging my wife out? Oh hell no! I want you fired. That's dirty. I was just kissing her in the mouth this morning.
Right.
And you've been doing all other kinds of dirty.
That's her fault. That's her fault. He shouldn't have been fired.
It is her fault, but it's your goddamn fault too. Because you looked in my face this morning when you came into the office and we was at the coffee machine, knowing you had your pecker in my wife's mouth. I want to divorce her ass and you fired.
Except only one of them took a vow with him.
That's exactly correct.
I don't care. I want both of them. But
now you think emotional.
At that point, as a man, I want all you motherfuckers gone.
Now, where's he?
Okay, Denzel, calm down.
First and foremost, Matt Barnes put hands on the wrong person. Let's start off with the basics. This ain't got. I'm a very big believer in putting the woman in the place she need to be in. She need to be put in her place. Because guess what? She opened her legs up to a man. She's attractive. What do you think is going to happen?
Right.
So he's out on the wrong person.
Right. Question.
Go
me
ahead.
and you work together. We co-workers. You come to find out me and you at the coffee machine, I've been blowing your old lady back out. You ain't got no smoke for me? All your smoke is only for her?
Are we friends? Are we? Wait a minute, hold on. Are we friends?
You tell me. You tell me.
This is your hypothetical.
No. My hypothetical. Me and you are co-workers. We at the coffee machine. I've been digging your old lady out.
This is her fault. This is her fault. This is her.
Ray.
This is her fault.
Ray,
I'm going to see her.
Ray, I'm asking you. Your wife.
You answered your question.
I gave you the
answer. The question, bro.
Answer the question, Ray.
What? How?
Answer the question. I've been digging your wife out.
Okay.
Are we still cool?
Can I answer it?
Yes, sir.
It's 150% her fault. I'm going to see her.
Oh, so we good.
Listen, you did what you supposed to do. I ain't got no wife. I'm smarter than that.
No, but I'm just saying this is crazy. Come on, Ray. Be honest.
I ain't got no wife. I'm smarter than that.
Ray, be honest. You know you're gonna be mad at that dude. You know you're gonna be mad at that dude.
Hey, let me get Los in here because Los, what are your thoughts on this?
No, so to me it seems like when you said that the player was the one who put this out there,
right?
That had to be that player who called Matt Barnes.
Yeah,
right.
It had to be him.
Right.
Because that's the only, like you say, Perkins should have had more connections to Boston for anything that was going on. Right. But he never recanted anything he said. Perkins didn't really go either way, but he didn't change his thoughts on the situation. But that person, which supposedly is a player, to call Matt Barnes and tell him all the specifics seemed like Ime was hitting the player girl and that other lady.
Mm-hmm. Probably. But you know they share publicly.
See what we doing right now is just as bad as the media. Now we saying
you're right.
We are the media.
Been doing that.
We are the media.
And
new
really,
media.
We are the media.
Oh, new media.
That's right. My bad. I stand corrected. The other media, right? All right. So I believe the reason we really wanted to have this talk was to focus on the fact that he alone is carrying this load.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's really, really sad because there was another person involved, and apparently she's got a long history with him. Who knows with who else? Because apparently she got a long history with him in multiple states.
Right.
And I think I heard something about while he was doing something with other teams.
Right.
Wow.
I think I heard that, but then that's me adding that, compounding it, but it doesn't really matter because she's gonna be protected regardless.
Yeah, she's been protected.
She's gonna be protected regardless. But I do know that I definitely heard that this went on for a very long time with them in multiple places.
Right.
And I just have to wonder, like, could it have possibly been just him?
Well, let me ask you this. Let me just ask the panel this. If, let's say they had an affair a time ago, and he got caught. They got caught. Husband, they had it out. She said, it's over with, whatever. And he won't stop coming after her. Then now whose fault is it?
It's his fault.
Right. So
Can
that's
he
what
come
I'm
after
saying.
her?
Because
How can he come after her? How can he come after her? How does he know where she stay?
She works for the Boston Celtics. She works for the Celtics. She works for them.
Where you gonna do it in the press box? Where?
Okay, so
only one of them people know where the other person is whenever they're out of town.
They said they're in the same facility. They're saying
she was still kicking it out, man. So
all right.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the situation, but they said he was making unwanted remarks or whatever. So
yeah, that means.
Well, let me say this before we go on to the next segment about this whole thing about unwanted remarks. Now, if you work in for any agency or corporation, typically they give you HR gives you like training on sexual harassment, and for something to be considered sexual harassment, you have to clearly tell the person that stop. That you don't want this, and in their case, since they had a relationship, she should have said, "Hey, it's over." I don't know what was said, but I could see if she didn't say anything, she just say, "Don't call me anymore," and he's trying to find out what happened. I can see that. I can see him going to her trying to find out, "Hey, what's going on? Is there something wrong?" And for you to take him trying to follow up and say, "Hey, what's going on?" As sexual harassment, I think it's kind of foul. But if you ask me, I'm with Los on this thing. I think he was kind of set up to be railroaded, in my opinion. But let me go on to the next segment about holding mental.
Can I just say this? In corporate America, that shit's not true.
What?
Which part is what's not true?
Literally, that once they tell you to stop,
you gotta stop. You got to stop.
Isn't that what I said?
No. I'm saying even if it's like, don't contact me no more, because I take my company corporate, huge $65 billion corporation. We take classes like monthly, and they live. I don't touch anybody. I don't tell them they smell good. I don't tell them they look nice. All of that can be deemed as sexual harassment.
Right.
But that's not sexual harassment could be literally anything. It doesn't mean that you harass them.
They're telling you it's their perception. So they're literally telling you, keep your fucking eyes in your head and your mouth closed. Right. They're literally telling you that in corporate America.
And
it's fucked up, but it is.
Except all of that stuff changes if you've been humping the person already.
Bruh.
Tell me it doesn't.
You gotta stop. No.
Okay. Let me move on to the next one. So, according to a study that was published in Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, both men and women have the same ability to resist temptation, but men fail attempting to resist temptation more often. Not because we exert less intentional control, but because we experience a much stronger sex impulse. We are wired to stray. We are wired to want to mate with as many women as possible. That's the natural course of things. But men try to be disciplined, and then a lot of women try to seduce the men and knock them off their square. Women don't understand this because they really don't value sex. They don't look at sex the same way we look at sex, right? Men are criticized harshly for being the way nature intended us to be. But when women gives in to her sexual urges and does what a man does, we try to protect her and defend her reputation at all costs. Ray, I want to say there was a study I read. I don't have the study pulled up. And it was from one of the universities out of Ohio. And the study said something to the fact that where they tested men and women, and they said that men think about sex men think about sex 19 times a day and think about food 18 times a day. And women think about food 15 times a day and don't think about sex 10 times a day. So women think about food 1.5 times more than they think about sex, which actually makes sense as to why to have sex with a woman, you have to take her out on a dinner date, right? So I wanted to ask you, do you think it's fair that the coach's reputation is being smeared all over the media while at the same time the woman's identity and reputation is being guarded at all costs? Your thoughts?
Yeah, of course it's unfair. I mean, because she is the one that committed the crime, not crime, but she's the one that did the immoral thing more so than him.
Right.
And, you know, I don't think that it's fair that we put the blame on someone like a man for doing something that, to be fairly honest, all men would do. It's just, it's not realistic. Listen, man, it's hard for us to get sex like that. So it's when it's hard for you to get something, of course you're going to think about it all the time. That's why men think about sex more often, because it's harder for us to get it. It's nothing for a woman to walk outside and any, mini, mighty, mo somebody and they coming in. I know I am. And so of course, you put the blame on the person who is capable. I don't think men are capable of making that clear decision. I don't think men know how to do it. Well, it sounds good to say so, but it's, unless you get that clarity after it's over, I don't think that men are capable of thinking like that. I think it's kind of like a alligator. Like, you'll have an alligator and you can raise the alligator in your house and teach him all kind of stuff and try to teach him whatever. But if you put your arm in the alligator mouth, he gonna bite it, death roll and eat it. Now, are you gonna blame the alligator? No, because that's what alligators do. Alligators eat meat and they bite. If you put your arm in his arm, they're going, men like women. Men have sex with women. So why put the blame on the one that can't help themselves? I honestly think that men can't help themselves when it comes to having sex with other women. I honestly think that, because if we could, this wouldn't be an argument. It would be less men doing this. But every time you give a man opportunity to have sex with a lot of women, he's going to take it. He's going to take it. So, of course, you have to put the blame on somebody else. Why would you blame a kid for eating too much candy if you give him too much candy? You got to blame the parent for giving them the candy. And in this case, the women are the parents giving the candy. She knew he was married. She knew she was married. She offered him sex. He took sex.
I got to correct you. Excuse me.
He was not married.
She was married with children. He wasn't married. And
exactly.
they haven't
That's
lived
even
together.
Worse.
And to be honest, we don't know what type of relationship that Nia Long and Ime Udoka had. We don't know.
Right.
Because
media, the other media is saying they want to break up.
Right.
But media was saying that they want to break up.
Well, that's even worse. So she has more of the clarity than us. We've all been in that position where we wanted to have a woman. She could damn near snap her fingers and you'll come. If you get to that point hard, she snap her fingers and you're gonna run over there. Every man in here to be in that position. So you know what I find? I find men hypocrites that have something to say about Udoka or any man or any man who practices this. Because every single one of them, if I go get one of my finest stallions and say, hey, go get him. I don't care if he married. I don't care what his situation is. If I find one of my finest stallions, I say, go get him. Hey, man, in 10 minutes, she will have him wherever she wanted. Just a bunch of hypocrites.
Hey, give me an alley-oop real quick. I got your back right here. Let me slam dunk it for you right quick. Back in the day, we did the same thing under the pressure of losing our lives or our limbs. When that girl crept out the big house and snuck out there in them quarters, old Buck was going to bend her over and do what needed to be done, because he knew that he was damned if he did and damned if he didn't. So if they would do it back then under those type of pressures, you can imagine, it ain't like that. Okay, yeah, he might, get fired, but he ain't about to get his meat cut off.
Yeah, but those, some of them slaves back in the day, some of the women will be creeping into some of them the places with the men.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's what you're saying, Vic.
I'm saying, but if you, Sally was sneaking out the big house. The master's daughter or master's wife was the big house. And
guess what the male slaves were doing? Guess what they were doing? Even though they knew they might die, they will still do it. So what does that say? I don't think men have the ability. I don't think the men have the ability to ignore that consistently. I don't think we can consistently do that. And any man that criticizes a man for doing that, I find him to be a hypocrite. And sometimes when I hear men talking like that, I swear I wish I could just say, hey, listen, man, I got this cat over here talking that noise, man. Come over here and make this man a liar. I wish I could do it, man. Go get him.
Hey, you just go.
Rico, a liar.
Rico, I want to bring you in. What are your thoughts? I mean, as far as do you think it's fair that the punishment and the tarnishing of the reputation is all one-sided? Do you think it's fair?
I mean, I guess for me, it's not even about. I cannot with a clear conscience say that I think it's fair. What I can say is I don't know why it's unexpected.
Well, that's a different question. That's a different question.
Right. I know, and I'm answering it with another question because of the fact that no, it is unfair.
Okay.
But I think in this situation, like you said, that how they look at black men is, and the way that the narrative is around black men and us being sexual beasts and uncontrollable and so on and so forth. This shit is not 2022. This was in 1922, 1822. It is so old. What are we acting butthurt about? It's been around forever. If you don't expect this when you end up in a situation like this, then you buried your head in the sand. Because they've always said this about black men. That's why we should always be moving in a way, especially when we're in white spaces. As a black man, when you're in white spaces dealing with white women, you know you're going to be looked at a certain way. But you can ignore it at your own peril if you like. That's on you, bro. If you want to go, oh, nah, that's old. Because that's what I hear as an old man. People are throwing my face. That's old. There you go with that old shit. Okay, I'll fall back. All right. Right till they sit there and do your ass like they did in the past. So then here we are in 2022, and they're doing that same behavior, and people are screaming and feigning offense. Like, I can't believe. I'm like, I told you this is what they do when you mess with their women. This is what the higher powers are going to do. They're not going to do it directly. They're going to do it subversively. They're going to sit there. They're going to be like, oh, no, we're not saying we have a problem with you being with them. But they're going to do all this other bullshit. Now, and look, the woman he was with, she was a white woman. If she was a black woman, do we all think it would be the same?
No. I don't.
So what the fuck are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Okay, I like to answer that.
Because if it was a black VP and a black woman, would this still be the same? You have to ask yourself that, and if not, why not?
Okay, can I answer that?
Go ahead, Sweet Jones.
And Rico, let me finish my answer before you jump to the cut.
I'm gonna mute myself. Let me mute myself. Go ahead.
All right, appreciate it. I have to ask myself, was that the question? That's the question for the next segment.
Mm-hmm.
That's the question for the next segment. Brother, I would like for you to answer the question that the moderator has presented to you. Because now we're getting off track, bro. I like to keep things on track.
Okay,
that's a question for the next segment.
That man ain't answered one question yet. That man been all over the place.
Now he done had his turn to speak, so I think he forfeited his chance to answer the question.
I thought we was on the
I apologize.
I thought we was on the panel with the women. I thought we was on the panel with the women.
What's the question?
Those questions get answered.
What's the question? I'm sorry.
No, man, you good. It was just about if you thought it was fair. I mean, you know, that the coach's reputation is being tarnished and that the narrative has been one way. So here, let me ask the question another way. Let me ask you the question another way. Do you think if it were, let's say,
Popovich?
No. Let's just say that the staffer and the senior VP were white. Let's say that the senior VP was a black woman, and the staffer was a black man, and that somebody on the coach's staff or the coach was a white woman who didn't live with her baby daddy. Who do you think would be blamed in this situation?
How do we even know if they black or white?
Okay. Let me
know what they are.
Let me answer the question as it was originally asked.
Mm-hmm.
The coach. So now I'm gonna just look at the position. I don't give a shit about anything else. Just with it. He's the head coach, not an assistant. He's the head coach of the Boston Celtics, one of the most storied franchises in the NBA. Anybody want to disagree?
Nope.
They're right up there with the Lakers. Other than the Los Angeles Lakers, who's the most storied franchise in the NBA?
The Boston Celtics, man. You got that argument.
Okay. All right. So again, you're the fucking head coach. You are the story. Other than the players, nobody gives a shit about Danny Ainge. Nobody gives a fuck about Brassy. I don't even know who owns the Celtics. I don't know. We know the players. We know the history. We know the coach. If you know the owner of the Celtics, raise your fucking hand.
I mean, he was just on
we
what's
know.
name?
No. Because again, if you sitting there saying, is it fair? I'm looking at who's important around the Celtics. It is, other than the players, it is the coach. The players, they didn't do anything. It's the coach. He stood out. He's going to get the most heat.
Okay. So
it's not fair, but it is what it is.
Okay, you saying that he, hold on, I'm bringing you in, Sly. Hold on, let me say what. So you're saying that because he's the coach and he's going to get the most heat. Now, Sly, I wanted to ask you, do you feel that because the coach is a man, and do you feel like that plays a part in it? Do you feel like men are being held to a higher standard than women when it comes to sex? And should women be held to the same standards as men, or an even higher standard than men, since they are the gatekeepers when it comes to sex? What are your thoughts?
Yes, because like 3 in 1. Yes, men are, the first part, men are held to a higher standard. Yes, women should be held to a higher standard because they are the gatekeepers. It'd be different if he was taking it from this woman or if he was harassing her. That's different. But if she's consenting to him, it's 50-50. Not only that, Rico, yeah, I get what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, and I understand. Yes, he is the figure. He got the bigger name. That's who they can put the hooks into because everybody knows who he is. The same thing happened with Tony Parker, and I forgot the other player's name, but he had went off to be like a coach or something. Tony Parker was married to Eva Longoria, and Tony Parker and this guy were hanging out as friends. They were having date nights with his wife, and Tony Parker was smashing his wife. Now, all the heat came down on Tony Parker. It was like, well, wait a minute. She was in it too. They was buddy. Right. And Eva Longoria ended up divorcing Tony Parker. So it's like, okay, so it's obvious when you are black nature, you gonna get the worst. So it's like, yeah, it's a like a double-edged sword. Yeah, like, yeah, you gonna get everything. But that's the only thing to me, because at this day and age, 2022. I really think the Boston's head coach, I think he did more than just cheat. I think he's done a lot. I think we're gonna start seeing emails and texts come out.
Okay, let me ask you because I mean that's a lot that you throwing out there. Do you think he did anything illegal?
Illegal? I don't know.
I don't want.
I can't speculate. I don't know.
But you are speculating. You are speculating.
No.
Okay.
I said, look. Okay, listen. I'm not gonna say nothing illegal because he didn't get arrested. He wasn't brought up on no charges, so he probably didn't do nothing illegal. So
what's worse?
He could have been harassing her. You say what?
So then what is this worse? What is this 100 times worse? If you're not talking about him doing something that's going to end him, get him locked up.
Yeah, it could be anything. We don't know.
Or slide, it could be nothing. It could be anything. It could be. Hold on.
Okay, do you know that? Do you know that for a fact?
You don't know for a fact that it's something more.
I said I don't know it for a fact.
So what I'm trying.
You're only backing the coach.
No,
you're only backing the coach.
It's not that I'm backing the coach. Okay, it's not. Hey, listen, what he did was foul because
you don't know what he did.
Hold on.
You don't know what he did.
Okay, what it is proposed that he did is foul, right? But if he copped to it and the woman copped to it, then we know that they slept together. Okay, that's something.
He accepted everything they gave him. He accepted it.
I don't think he did at first.
Right.
He was fighting it at first.
Right.
I ain't heard none of that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what he did. That's what I'm saying. I can't speculate and say this dude is right. He did something.
The GM came in and had the independent investigation of everybody. Like everybody had to talk. So once they did that investigation in July, then I guess something else, like he must have slept with her again.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody knows.
Because he had the investigation.
So can I ask a question? We do know that, like the Boston Celtics didn't do an investigation.
No, independent. They brought in somebody.
So they brought somebody in.
Yeah.
Wasn't with the coach. Wasn't with the Celtics. It's like, look, we don't give a fuck about none of y'all. Pay me my bread. We gonna go in and we gonna investigate.
Yeah.
And when they went in and they investigated, this is what they came up with.
Yeah.
And I'm not. And they didn't. If they thought it was even bad enough to say, hey, this shit is so terrible, he was raping or whatever somebody, they would have said to fire him.
So where's the 100% times worse? Where's the 100 worse coming from?
Yeah.
But you do know that they do have non-disclosure agreements. You do know they're under non-disclosure agreements.
What I'm saying is you can have all the NDAs you want. If you commit a crime, an NDA does not.
But it's not a crime. He didn't commit a crime.
Right. I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying he committed a crime. I'm not even suggesting that. What I'm suggesting is that he didn't. And what I'm suggesting is that if it was that great, they would have made a recommendation. They made a recommendation, just suspend the guy. So he took it. And as you said, he took it because he knew he did something. Because if I didn't do shit, I'm not taking no suspension. Fuck that. Yeah. So why is he walking away? Because I haven't heard him come out. He came out with a statement. I let my family down. I was disappointed. I shouldn't have did it. Now, all that shit with Nia, I don't believe she's no fucking darling. I don't believe none of that. That's just garbage over there. But he came out with his statement. I read his statement.
His publicist statement. His publicist statement.
Okay.
He didn't write it. Yeah.
So who does the publicist work for?
They didn't consult with him. They made that up for him. Yeah, but they made that up for him.
Is it his publicist or is it Celtics publicist?
I don't know. He might have his own, but it's probably the Celtics publicist. They all working together.
Okay, but he has an opportunity to come out with his own statement, correct?
Yeah, but he didn't.
Well, so he's not saying nothing's wrong. I'm not saying it's right. He's
back
off the tracks.
Nothing at all.
Okay.
He didn't say nothing at all.
Right. It could
Back
be
off the tracks
complete
again.
garbage. It could be complete garbage.
Right.
All I'm sitting there saying is right now at this moment, he can come out with a statement right now.
He could.
Right. I want to bring in Rico to plug, man.
That's all. Yeah.
Rico, should women be held to a higher standard since they are the gatekeepers when it comes to sex? Why do we continue as a society to treat women like children? Like when they do something wrong, then it's the man's fault because he should have known better.
Bro, I definitely believe. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna say they should be held to a higher standard. Well, don't get too excited, bro. I am gonna say that they should be equally looked at. And in the same light, because they are protected and have been protected for years. When you look at somebody like Marilyn Monroe, what I heard of her was that she was, that she was sleeping with several married men. Loose, right? But she was, these ladies be out here getting her tattoos. And they don't paint her as a homewrecker or an immoral person or whatever. They don't do that. And when you look at like Elizabeth Taylor, I think she had like 9 husbands or something like that.
Right.
They worship her. Hey, the brothers used to worship her too. You know what I mean? I know a couple of my OGs, my grandfathers and great cousins and uncles. You know, most of them rest in peace now. They worshiped her too. They wanted a slice of Elizabeth Taylor. You know, they view her as a good thing. And I'm rest in peace to some of our one of our great former R&B singers. Man, our people love her. I don't even want to say her name because she's so protected.
Beyonce?
Fiercely protected. No, rest in peace.
Oh, okay.
She's so fiercely protected.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Rico, bro.
He got to be talking about Whitney.
Fiercely protected. Whitney? No.
Aaliyah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You got to be Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Well, but
let me finish, man.
God bless it. God bless it.
You're struggling, man. I forgive you.
Y'all was trying to pull like
I was like, God damn.
You gotta come over here and rock the boat. You gotta rock the boat, huh, Ray?
Hey, Ray.
You gotta rock the boat.
Ray, before we move on to the next segment, man, what are your thoughts on women being the gatekeeper? Should the standards, both Ray and then you, Sweet Jones, before we go on to the next segment, should women be held to a higher standard since they are the gatekeepers when it comes to sex?
Yes, man. Yes. They should be held to the standard. Men should not be held to the standard at all. I don't believe men should be held to a standard at all. I think women have all of the responsibility. Remember the alligator analogy, Scott? Just remember that, man. If you disagree, you hold the most. Listen. Whenever you do anything of any importance, right? You hold the most competent person. You hold them more responsible for and that goes for anything. The most competent child, which is usually the oldest child, the mother or the father will say, you're responsible for your brothers and sisters. The most responsible worker gets the supervisory position. Everybody the most responsible, and when it comes to get sex with women, men are just not responsible. We will listen. We have all listen. If we start stories time on here about the stupid things that we have done for sex, and if we start from the left all the way to the right, bruh, every single man on this stage has done the dumbest things ever to attain sex from a woman. Can we all agree on that? But I can guarantee you, if you bring women up here, they didn't have to do nothing because they were the ones to say, come over to my house and be over here in high school. I ain't saying no name. I ain't saying this is me. Come over to my house between 4 and 3, and she 10 miles away, and I had to ride a Huffy in the rain all the way to her house. Only a man would do something stupid like that because we're not. But that's the point. Hey, Rico. The point is that we are, when it comes to getting sex from women, we almost would do anything to do it. And women don't have to do that. They just go like this. So the one that is more responsible, come on, Rico, you know what I'm talking about. If they snap their finger like this, bruh, somebody coming over there to their house. Wherein I can't walk outside and say, y'all all come in here, stand on snap, all y'all in my bed. I wouldn't have a job. That's all I'd be doing. That's all everybody would do.
You can live it out.
Well, what I'm saying is, I mean, they make me open the door and somebody come in, but it ain't always the person they want. Because I have had a few women who went through some extreme measures to get in my bed. Now, I was stupid enough. So to make your case, I still was stupid enough to do something that I didn't want to do. Right? But they did. I had a few women go through some extreme measures to get in my bed or to get me in their bed. That's the thing. But let me touch on the other thing. Let's touch on the alligator theory.
But this is, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, Rico. Okay. The woman is in charge of that because we're less competent than they are when it comes to decision making on who has sex. When you have a household and the man is in the household, when the man is in the household making decisions and the lights get cut off or they get put out of their house, who do they look at? Do they look at the woman? They look at the man because he's more competent when it comes to that than a woman is. So they look at the person who's more competent under those circumstances, and a man is more competent when it comes to running the house properly. Women are not.
So in this case, then you agree with what's being done to the brother in the media. Then we should just be focused on him.
What? I don't know how you got that out of what I just said.
I don't know how you couldn't. You just.
I don't have a. Did everybody hear that same thing?
The man is more competent.
I don't know how you heard that. I have no clue. Maybe I said it wrong. The
man is more competent.
I was talking about in regards to running the household. The man. Okay, no, women are not as competent when it comes to money, paying bills, being rational, not bad credit. Women are terrible. They're not competent at all when it comes to that. So that's why man should
I'm gonna say this, bro. For a man who tried to make an argument that men should run the house, it's really not a good thing to say that a man should run an entire household, but he can't run his own penis. It's just kind of like you kind of shouldn't make that statement.
No, because we can run our household, but if you offer us sex, we gonna take it, man. We gonna take it. You give us sex. We gonna take that.
But that just because it doesn't make it like right. You know what I'm saying?
It's always an exception.
Responsible for like, all right, look, I got a new baby. I got a new baby.
Congratulations, Rico.
In an uncomfortable. Thank you, brother. In an uncomfortable situation, and I have a lot of smoke for the person that I have a baby with. But at the end of the day, I could have said no. So I should have said no, but I'm a dope son. So, it is what it is. I got a lot of smoke for her, so we're not going to take her off the hook. But that don't take me off the hook either. She wanted it. I didn't. I did it. So I kind of get your point.
That's kind of what he's saying, though.
You're going to take the cheeks.
Man, that's exactly what I'm saying.
You're going to take the cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took some pressure. It took some prying, but I took the cheeks.
Why? You more you should, aren't you more competent? You shouldn't have took it. You still did.
You're right. That's what I'm saying.
Why did you do it? Raise your hand.
What I'm saying is, though, she's she's no more responsible than me, but she's no less responsible than me either.
Yeah, no, she's more. Yeah, she's way more responsible. How many guys on this panel had sex with a woman they knew goddamn well they shouldn't have had sex with? If you don't raise your hand, you're a liar. If you don't raise your hand, you're a liar. You's a liar.
Yeah. I definitely will. I just told you I did.
Everybody have.
Right. Say your question again. You said
that didn't make it her fault though.
No, it wasn't.
Exactly. That's my point.
I'm not saying
that's what Rico's saying about.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying it's not her fault. I'm saying that we are not competent enough. We can't make logical decisions when it comes to sex. We have done a lot of. Every man on here has done the stupidest shit ever to get sex, especially as they were younger. Every man on.
Right. Can I go ahead? Can I say this? I will say this. Okay. I'm not going to argue your competency argument, but whether we're competent or not, it doesn't excuse us. That's what I will say. So what I will sit there and say is, if I buy your argument, and I do think that women are more competent than men when it comes to childbearing, because I think they think more about the responsibility of having children. Yeah. Men, we just think, oh, I bust a nut, fuck it, I walk away, she got the baby, and we done. And they don't think any more about it. And I get it, because we don't carry children. Our bodies don't change, all that. And girls hear that shit from their mother. And I get it. They're a little bit more responsible. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't excuse me even if I do that. So what Rico said, like, Rico, congratulations again, you being a father, right? He impregnated somebody. Whether he got smoked for her or not, he could. I don't know what you feel about her, and I really don't care. But it doesn't excuse his responsibility, because he's the father of that baby, and he embraces that. And while the mother may have a greater, as you said, and I don't disagree with you, Ray, she may have a greater. I think the word used is competency, whatever. But it doesn't mean that Rico's incompetent, because the bottom line is he still got to be there for that baby. But that baby needs both of them. No, that's not what you were saying. But
if you know that's not what I'm saying.
I know that wasn't what you were saying.
Hey, Rico, you confusing me.
I'm not saying that you were saying that. I'm just saying that's how sometimes what I'm saying is this, like, even when I speak, I try to be careful what I say, because sometimes the words I use and how it comes across, people receive it a different way. And I've always told people, like, as a speaker, I try to be 80% responsible, because only I know what's in my fucking head. And you as the listener, so when I say something, y'all look at me like, oh, fucking Rico, he's fucking crazy. And then I'm like, that's where I failed. I was a failure, because I didn't make y'all understand what I meant. It's not that you always disagree. Sometimes I'm talking shit and it don't sound like shit. And people gonna say it sound like shit.
Right.
So I try to be very careful about that.
All right.
That's it.
Let me bring in Sweet Jones, because he's been waiting patiently. I want to get his thoughts on this before we move on to the next segment. What are your thoughts, Sweet Jones, as to should women be held to either an equal standard or a higher standard when it comes to sex, since they are the gatekeepers when it comes to sex?
The greatest rapper of all times, Andre 3000, once said, if men are all dogs, then what you call broads. Mm-hmm. 3 lines in heat, fiending for some young balls. We all need to be held accountable for our shit, be it a guy or a girl. The accountability of the situation, each person knows what they stand to lose or what the risk is for them. You know what I mean? So there's just no way that you can make the next person responsible for what you've done when you've done it, knowing what the consequences were. You know what I'm saying? I know this is a whole panel of guys and it sound cool. And it's funny to just say them women are wrong, they wrong, but let's just keep it 100, man. Let's keep it 100. But we do understand that in this particular situation that brought us here tonight, he gonna get the heat. He gonna get the bulk of the heat because of who he is versus who she is. You know, in the grand scheme of things, she's a nobody. You know, yeah, she might be married to the VP or whatever, but in the grand scheme of things, in the public forum, him being Ime Udoka is gonna get more press than Sally Sue. You know what I'm saying? And even if we switch it around, if it was Becky Hammond and Joe Blow, even though Becky Hammond wouldn't get the same amount of public attention as Udoka is gonna get, she's still gonna get more than Joe Blow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, bro, it is. Hey, you put yourself in a situation, you cannot blame the other person.
Well, I partially agree with you, except for this lady wasn't no Joe Blow.
Who is she in the public forum? Like, who is she?
Nobody knows.
But
the wife of a vice president.
That's pretty
big. That's pretty big.
I said
that's pretty
aside
big
from her being married to this vice president in the public forum.
That's all.
In the public forum, she's not Nia Long. You hear Nia Long name more than you hear her name, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Except for she probably worth about 5-10 times what, probably 100 times worth Nia Long worth.
No,
that don't matter.
No, she's not.
That don't matter, bro.
You don't think so?
No. That don't matter in terms of the coverage that the situation is getting.
Either way, she still needs some smoke.
Yeah, I agree, but let me go ahead and let's go ahead and segue over to our next question. So, again, we're talking about the media's portrayal of Ime Udoka. The media, at least in my view, to my mind, the media has portrayed Ime Udoka as a man who was obsessed with the female staffer that he had an affair with. Ime is black. The female staffer is white. The narrative being covertly pushed is that Ime is like, this big brother who can't control himself sexually. And the woman who they refuse to identify is some innocent low-level staffer who couldn't help herself because of the power dynamic that exists between the two. He's being suspended for having an improper relationship at work, and she will not be punished. Rico, Young, I'm coming to you with this one. Do you believe the narrative being pushed plays into the sexual stereotypes that people have had about black men? And do you believe the severity of the punishment is motivated by race?
He didn't already answer that.
No.
He didn't already answer that. The last question.
Stanley Jones, be quiet. Let me answer.
He just answered that, man.
Let me answer. You a hater. You a hater. He's a hater.
One. I'm starting with him, but I need to give everybody an opportunity to answer that question. So I'm leading the question with him.
He's already answered.
And you
I'll be brief. Is that okay with you, Stanley?
Be brief.
I'll be brief.
All right.
Can I
define brief? Define brief.
All right. Not right now. Go ahead. Be brief, bro. Go ahead and get it, man.
All right.
Yes, I think they have made it a bad narrative about black men and white women. Yes. Do I think he played into it? Yes. Next.
All right.
Brief enough for you.
And I was pretty brief.
Cry, baby.
Low. So I'm gonna bring you in. Same question. Same question. Not that we're trying to play. We're not playing this race game, but I mean, do you think there's like a racial component to this? I mean, the narrative that's being pushed out there is making him look like this sexual beast who can't control himself, and this woman is like some innocent wildflower.
Yes, I totally think it's a racial portion to it because of who he is. Mm-hmm. And so I read something about what's the guy that played on the team?
Jason Taylor or Brown?
Oh, that played at Florida. The guy that played for Florida Gators.
What's his position?
No. You talking about Al Horford? No, you talking about Al Horford? He talking about Al Horford.
Horford's sister worked in there too, and so she was defending Ime because I think she knows the situation as well.
Right.
And she brought that up as far as everybody started putting black female names out there at first. Mm-hmm. They named Allison Feaster. They of course they had Nia Long. They were naming all black females from the beginning. Well, after it went into it more, that wasn't the case. And so she brought that up. But the stereotype is definitely being played in this situation. That's why it's getting so much coverage right now. Because if there was a white male with a black woman, it wouldn't go this far. To me.
Her name would have been out there, wouldn't it? Her name would have been out there. Her name would have been out there.
Name would have been out there.
Yeah.
Been out there. Like, what are you protecting right now? If it's nothing criminally done, because I know in the situation of domestic violence and the big R word, you said you Yahoo don't like. Mm-hmm. Those are the two times that they don't publish a person name in the newspaper. Never. They will not do it for domestic violence and that. Mm-hmm. And so if he didn't do neither one of those, what you protecting right now?
Right.
I don't get it.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah, I believe it is being portrayed as a stereotype.
All right. Yeah. The rest of y'all, I don't want to go one by ones, man. Y'all jump in. Do you think that this thing is there's like a small racial component to this, man? That they're pushing? Yeah. Go ahead.
I think that there is a small undertone for race in this, but I do believe we just protect women, period. Black women are protected a lot also. I do think that there's still an undertone here. It is race in this involved, but we like to protect women, period. But we protect women more.
Right.
We protect white women more than we protect black women. Okay, all right. They protect it more than us, so that's in there. But the name probably still would be out there if it was a black woman, I think, my opinion. But it's we just like to protect women, period. It's a lot of full of shit black women that's being protected. Not to this degree. No, white women are protected way more, but we still protect women as a whole. In the West, I got to put in the West on everything I say. In the West,
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think, man, if I'm hoping this woman is white, and yes, it is.
She is white.
So for sure. Because what if she's Asian? Because white men like to get with Asian.
No. I mean, everybody knows who the wife is. Everybody. The Boston.
I don't know.
I'm talking about for the Celtics.
Well,
and
she might be Cecilia. She might be something. She passed for white. She can qualify for the white card.
And that's why.
And I agree with Ray. We protect women in general, but they definitely gonna protect the white woman over a gator. So
yeah. Well, and the owners are white. You know what I mean? Like the ones that came out and speak were white. I mean, let's not get it twisted. Boston's always been a white for whites. Larry Bird.
Man, if the owners were black, and that vice president was black, and his wife was black,
we would have never heard about it.
It'd be out there.
Yeah.
Is this woman fine? How does this woman look? Is she fine? I got to see her. Now I'm tired of this.
Yeah, she
Was
just,
she stapling or something?
Wait, have you guys seen her?
I think I saw a photo where she did have a little bit of a bump back there, but I mean,
She got a popcorn right there.
yeah,
A little popcorn.
she had a little bit
I
of a
want to
bump.
see her now.
Yeah,
Now I want to see her thick.
yeah, because the thing is, my thing is the amount of money that they spent to hire an outside law firm, the fact that they went at great lengths to protect the privacy of the individual, and the fact that they weren't going to punish this other individual, but they were going to punish Ime Udoka. I already knew. I just had a gut suspicion that she was white, and so it didn't surprise me when the news came out. Rico, Medium, are you still there? Because I wanted to. I don't know if he
Yes, sir. I'm still here.
Okay, so if you can, I'm going to transition over to the next segment. But before, I just want to make sure you didn't have any more on this, because I know you and we talked about race, and I'm pretty sure you have more to add.
Well, yeah, because I mean, it just for me, just again, and again, Sly Jones. I know he busted my chops, but again, like I just wanted to point out like what the dynamics was, and the city of Boston itself has had a long history. Boston was the South of the North. So when people talk about the school busing, when we talked about when in particular during the late 60s and 70s, when they were talking about doing desegregation after Brown versus Board of Education, and when they were talking about busing black kids to white schools, you know who was the people who were the most against it? It was Boston. That's why people like Robert Parrish and Bill Russell and all these people talk about how the most racist motherfucking place they ever played in was the city of Boston. Boston has been unbelievably racist. I spent 3 years of my time in the military service at a place called Fort Devens, Massachusetts. It was about an hour west of Boston, Massachusetts. The scariest I've ever been in my entire life, in my 58 years on this earth, has been in the city of Boston. I have been scared shitless where I've nearly pissed myself because white Irish guys threatened to kill and lynch my black ass. That's Boston. That's not in the South. That's not in the Midwest. That's in the Northeast. And I love Boston. I know black people who grew up in, they have an area of Boston. I can't remember the name of it. They have but it's a very small percentage. Boston, people will tell you, when you talk about racism in America, Boston comes up in the dictionary because it was a place where immigrants came to, and while blacks were there, when the Irish, the Polish, the Italians came, I'm not a nigga. I'm not a nigga. I don't give a fuck what you say about me. So the white people that say you a Polak, they say you a Mick, they say you a fucking a Wop. I'm not a fucking nigga, and that's all they care about. So while they could not sit there and do that to the English white people, guess who they shitted on? Us. And that's all I'm saying. So when the stuff that M.A., if Dennis' name is wrong, is incorrect, is that in 2022, we talk about all the stuff. Oh, well, what about that? I'm like, it's the same as 1922. Mm-hmm. You guys keep telling yourself it's something different. It's not.
Right.
So I ain't trying to convince you of shit. Believe what you want.
You said in 1922, Boston is the same.
I'm saying in 2022, if you believe that the root cause of the problem is different than what it was in 1922, which was race. So we're having a conversation, and the very questions is being asked in the conversation. Does race matter? Why the fuck are we asking that in 2022? If it doesn't, why is it even being brought up? Why are we not having a conversation like race doesn't matter?
Race always gonna matter.
So then why are we acting like it doesn't? Because the whole point is, as AK said, if Ime was a white basketball coach, because Stephen A. Smith brought it up. I didn't bring it up. Stephen A. Smith said if it was a white coach, nobody would have said anything. But y'all keep saying race don't fucking matter. The fuck are we talking about? So when I sit there and say Stephen A. Smith, you're right, but you don't do anything about it.
I'm lost about what who said are you creating a story in your mind?
No, I'm not creating the story. What I'm sitting there and saying is, when I say that Boston is racist, you all look at me like, where the fuck did he get Boston as being racist from?
No, I don't think I don't think anybody looked at you like that.
Not one single person did that. I
didn't say y'all said it. I said y'all looked at me that way.
Well, now how do you do that? Show me that look.
I did not say you said it, sir.
Show me how you move your head when you look
that way. Yeah,
Sweet Jones, did you say that?
Look at Rico. I'm just fucking.
No, we did.
Hey. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm confused like a motherfucker, man. I ain't never been more confused.
Right. Perfect. Now, all I'm saying is, I'll say this. Let's just sum it up. Is that how the fuck you say it?
Ime, man.
Ime is in Boston. And every black athlete in Boston has said Boston has a very racist history. Do we agree with that?
Yeah, I don't think there's any argument there.
Yeah.
They've all said it. As recently as I think even LeBron said it. I think LeBron James said something about that, right?
Right.
Not too long ago, about how racist the fans are in Boston.
Right. Well, I think I don't know. I think on this one you might be arguing against yourself, because I don't think that anybody is in disagreement with you. I think that pretty much everybody agrees with you that Boston is racist. But we have. I was
So
gonna.
What was your question then? Let me ask you. What was your question, AK?
No. The question was if you thought that this thing had a racial component, but when you're saying yeah, okay, so
it has a racist component,
right? Okay, so you answered that initially. This is your third time answering it now. So you answered it earlier, and then you answered it first, and then now I'm closing with you. But I'm saying is that. No, I don't think anybody disagree with you. I think that all of us agree with you that that Boston is a pretty racist city. It's almost time to close out. I do want to end with this last question. And Rico, the plug, I'm going to start with you. This is for the panel. Malika Andrews, she called in the Stephen A. Smith show. And I can respect the fact that she has a genuine disagreement with Stephen A. Smith or even a Kendrick Perkins. But the lack of respect shown not only to a man who's old enough to be her father, but to a man who's her colleague and who was in the middle of running his own show. And I think I wouldn't, I think maybe I need to cue that up, because I think it's.
I'm gonna get mad.
Show it.
I'm gonna get mad.
Yeah, I think it's important to cue that up, because.
Show it, please.
Yeah.
I think I got to cue that up.
Yeah, because I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen
it?
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Who said it's disgusting?
It's disgusting. It's
right.
Yes, it's disgusting.
Yeah,
it upset me.
Are you triggered by this?
Huh?
Are you triggered by this?
Yes, I'm triggered by feminists.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This was nothing, Ray.
Oh no. That right there. I would have been
This
mad.
was mild, Ray.
I'd have called security on her.
Hey, Ray. To be fair, it was a lot milder than his appearance on another show.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's
No, bro. I don't think.
So let me.
I don't think you heard the dig that I just said. I said it was mild compared to your.
Yeah, and that was more disgusting.
I'm gonna let me go ahead and play this clip.
Stephen A., with all due respect, this is not about pointing the finger. Stop. What became apparent to me in this press conference is that we do not have all of the information here, and it was frustrating to me that the Celtics declined to elaborate or to give more specifics about what exactly the rule breaking was that led us to this point. So that I just wanted to get that out of the way first. But to answer your question, Molly, I think what stood out to me, I think what stood out to me is that Brad Stevens, he was upset. That's what stood out to me about what he termed rampant Twitter BS is the word that he used, that women were unfairly dragged into this within the Celtics organization. You could see that Brad Stevens was visibly upset about this. And I also found that to be gross and unnecessary, that folks were bringing in the names and the images of women that is just not a fact. That was purely speculation. And so to me, that is what stood out. But the Celtics as an organization could have done more. And short of doing more ahead of this yesterday, they could have owned that responsibility in this press conference. I understand that there were legal parameters that they had to operate within for everybody involved. And I appreciate the fact that they brought in outside counsel and did a thorough organization. And I think that that is something that was clearly necessary.
You hear the tone in her voice when she's talking to him?
But the fact that it was able to go on all day, the fact that we are sitting here debating whether somebody else should have been suspended or not, we are not here, Stephen A., to further blame women. That is
I'm getting upset.
Why we are here.
First of all, let me be very clear. I don't appreciate where you're going with that.
Me either.
I'm not blaming anybody but Ime Udoka.
Right.
He deserves, the fact of the matter is, I've said he deserved to be fired.
He said that?
If they were going to fire him.
That's what he said.
If you're not going to fire him, then don't fire him.
What's the problem?
My issue is all of this being publicized. The point that I'm trying to make is just like you're not mentioning. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
To you. You're the one telling me to stop on my show. It
right.
ain't happening.
Right.
It ain't gonna happen. Yeah, who are you?
Right.
Women.
Pause it, Abraham. Pause it.
Mm-hmm.
No, Ray, pause, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Her inner feminist.
Her feminist yes.
was coming out, and yes. like Ray, I too have an issue. I don't really care for feminists, especially I don't care for the color purple feminists. You know the kind I'm talking about. The kind that look like us, that want to go hard on black men, and black men are responsible for everything from world hunger to global warming and Milli Vanilli and Vanilla Ice. Everything is our fault. I have a problem with that, and initially I liked Malika Andrews, but now I see that she's a rank feminist. I don't particularly care for. The question that I had for you, Rico, the plug, is, do you think, and this is for the whole panel, so after he answers, everybody just get in there. Do you think she would have talked to a white man on his show, own show like that? Give me your thoughts and explain.
I don't think that she would have talked to a white man or a white woman like that on their show. And if she would have talked to a sister like that on her show, she would have got put in her place, way harsher than Stephen A. Smith did. But definitely the disrespect people are very, very comfortable with the idea of disrespecting a man of color. That's what I get from it. But I don't agree with all the way agree with Stephen A. Smith. Like, I still feel like the woman need to be held responsible too. Like,
he said that.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He said he's not saying that. He said he holds him responsible.
Yeah, but he's saying that why are the women not? That's why she made that argument, because she was saying that he wasn't. She made the argument because he was saying where are the women also. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In this clip, that's what she's doing.
In that clip, she was coming to him about what he had said in the previous interview.
Right. The previous segment.
But in this interview, he didn't make it clear.
But I mean, you understand the context of it, though.
Yeah.
Right, I understand that, but I'm saying in that interview, he didn't make it clear that he felt like he actually kind of said, it's on him, on the guy.
Yeah, but this is what feminism has done. This is what it has done. It has made all women hate us. Now look how she and she did the same thing to Perkins. Perkins was talking. She interrupted Perkins while he was in the middle of it. She interrupted him to say some stupid ass shit like that.
I think that was worse.
It was disgusting. And this is what feminism.
That was worse.
I think feminists, especially black feminists, they practice hate of their own people. That's what black feminists, because she's displaying that, and she did that to two black people. Two black men. This is the disgust they have for us. This is why I am so hard on sisters about that type of shit. Because he didn't just hold her accountable, the women. He said that he deserves to be fired or suspended or whatever he did. But when he tried to do the same thing, that's why I always say, women hate accountability. Now, she heard this man say he should be fired. But because she's a woman, she can't help it. I don't blame her. She knows not what she does. She sat on there and listened to him criticize a man. But soon as he put any blame on a woman, then she got upset. See, that's the disgusting shit that I'm talking about. And that's why I feel like I feel about this. It's a very passionate conversation for me. It's taught women to hate. And, initially, the feminism movement was with white women, the problem they had with their white men. It didn't have nothing to do. Black women didn't have a problem with black men. The white women had a problem with white men. And this is what it has done.
Wait a minute now. The color purple showed us that black women also had a problem with black men.
Oh yeah. We know that true story that Alice Walker told us that, of course, it's true based off a stupid movie that wasn't even true. You see how stupid this feminism thing does, man? This is ridiculous. And it's even more disgusting when a man is a feminist. Oh, that's the most disgusting shit I ever seen in my life, man.
Wait a minute. Okay. Now I got to bring in Rico Medium, because Rico Medium is a male feminist, and I
really, I didn't know that.
Rico, go ahead and get in there.
He's on mute.
You're muted. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Muted.
You're muted. Can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I have no rebuttal. My question is if in fact everybody's so butthurt over the way that Malika Andrews addressed Stephen A. Smith, why not the same level of equal butthurt the way that Stephen A. Smith has addressed multiple people on their show?
Now, what subject we talking about?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You about to do it.
You're doing the Boston thing again.
No, all I'm saying is Stephen A. Smith, we're not going to act like he's new or he's some sunflower or a snowflake and he melts. Stephen A. Smith has went on multiple shows and he has called people out, whether it's Max Kellerman, whether it's fucking Nick Wright.
And when we do a show on that, we're going to talk about Steve.
Hold on.
All I'm saying is men talk to men this way. So simply because a woman talked to him the way he talked to other men, all of a sudden we're crying butthurt.
No.
We can't do. Let me finish.
Okay.
We can't sit there and go, "How dare she talk to him that way?" I'm like, That motherfucker talk to people like that every day.
Okay, I think
we say nothing.
That's not apples and apples.
Stop. Let's not clean that shit up.
Okay, so
Stephen A. Smith.
We gotta address multiple things, bro.
Stephen A. Smith every day wakes up and make multi-millions of dollars shitting on other men.
Okay.
So if a woman, he makes multi-million dollars a year going on other people's channels on ESPN and everywhere else, putting other men in their place. So if a woman put his ass in his place, he got to take the fucking L.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that she did it because I didn't hear anything that she said that was that offensive.
Okay.
She said some shit he did. Let me finish. She said something that he didn't agree with. He responded back, which was a fair rebuttal. He came back and told her, don't tell me how to talk on my show. This is the way I see it. I agreed with him. I didn't see everybody sitting there getting butter. I was like, what the fuck was the problem?
I got a question for you. I got a question for you, and I was trying to patiently wait. Okay, so then in your mind, it would be acceptable if we were talking about something serious as accusations, because basically what they're alluding to is that it was some type of sexual harassment, or this was something serious. We're not talking about just sports, right?
Yeah, they were both guessing.
So right. So if we're talking about something that's sensitive, would it be appropriate for him to go on her show and talk to her in the same manner?
Yes.
Okay.
He's done it. He's done it on multiple shows. Let me tell you the shows he's done it on. He's done it on Max Kellerman.
He got him fired.
A lot of these CC, we don't look at it because it's male. So if he do it to another male, but it's still the same thing.
What show of Max Kellerman?
Multiple shows. Stephen A. Smith has went on multiple shows, and he said salacious shit on multiple shows. Because it was a male show, people are like, oh, that's dudes, that's guys talking to guys. I'm like, but it still doesn't matter. It's still, he went to somebody else's show and he gave his fucking opinion.
What show?
The other hosts didn't agree with it and they accepted it. So when she came to his show, he didn't agree with it. He don't have to accept it. But the bottom line is that's what he does every day. Stephen A. Smith does this shit every fucking day. But all of a sudden, we are butthurt because a woman did it to him.
No,
and that's what I'm saying.
Hold on, bro.
Come on,
round here, we say, people get in their feelings and stuff like that, right? Round here, we try to be a little more careful about saying things that are insulting, like butthurt, which you said 6 times. Look, I'm straight. I take issue with stuff like that.
You know the definition of butthurt?
Nah, listen.
Go ahead.
Do you know the definition of disrespect?
I ain't know the definition of butthurt.
Look, bro, I ain't butthurt about nothing.
I didn't say you was.
I ain't butthurt about shit. You said everybody want to be butthurt. You said that shit 6 times, bro.
That's the general statement.
Butthurt around here.
That's the general
Somebody else might find that cool. But because I have a different opinion about or a different stance than you,
I can respect that. I can respect that.
Yeah, all right.
But I'm saying is I'm not going to regulate my language because people don't understand. All I'm saying is this: if I understand the definition of a word,
and I called you a bitch, like would that be?
If you want to, you can. That's fine.
But that's not respecting you, though.
But you know what?
But it's okay.
But hold on 1 second. Hold on. But we're not going to do that. And I don't like the path that this is going. Let's stay.
I wasn't even trying to be offensive.
I
just saying it's
though, bro.
I understand. I understand.
So, I guarantee you wouldn't run that language, that same speech pattern. You wouldn't do that in prison.
Okay, but
I ain't been to prison. So I don't know.
So here's my thing.
I don't know.
Here's my thing.
Yeah, you wouldn't do it
because I don't. What I don't want to do is I don't want to. It feels like this thing is turning into something else. I just don't think it's not that serious. So, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and we are going to go over into our closing remarks. Rico, I'll go ahead. Rico, the plug. I'll start with you. Let's keep them under the 90 seconds. Closing remarks.
For sure. Hey, I appreciate everybody's opinion. I just try to, just giving a little example of like how things can get, ugly. We can disagree, but reducing someone's opinion to like when you start using like little adjectives or little sayings like that, it can make things get. You could definitely get under my skin. I don't know about everybody else. I know that it's a little room under my skin for certain things. I do think that women should be held accountable. Everybody in a situation should be held accountable. Even the gator. I know what gator, and I agree with Ray about a gator's gonna do what they do. But I tell you what, if you bite the arm or the leg off of somebody that I love, that I'm gonna have some new shoes and a belt. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand Gator's gonna be Gator, but we can't just let the woman off the hook in this situation, protect her like that, and we can't let a female interviewer disrespect a male. More than we can let a male disrespect a female.
Okay, got you. Ray, your final thoughts.
Oh man, this was a pretty good show, man. But I was pretty perturbed by this whole the coaching situation, man. They're putting them on, and it just further proves the things that we complain about, how we protect women, and they're flowers, and no matter what happens. And I get bothered by it. I'm sick of it, about a man doing something that men just do. Men just do that, and ain't nothing gonna change. And the next coach that comes in, if she goes seduce him, he gonna do the same thing to her, and on and on and on. So we can sit here and play this. Maybe he should have liability thing. Okay. Maybe he should, but you bring somebody else in there, it's going to happen the same way. Yeah. So, I mean, really, we just keep on giving the wrong person the liability. Hey, I'm going to give my kids liability. I'm going to give them the responsibility of making sure they eat correctly. Hey, 4-year-old, you eat anything you want. Oh, they made a decision. You see how ridiculous that sounds? Giving a kid, that's the same thing you do when you give a grown man access to attractive women. So I'm sick of it. And men we ain't responsible for what we do sexually to the woman. We ain't responsible.
All right.
Somebody else is.
All right. I'm sure the sisters will have a lot to say about it the next time we get together. Sweet Jones, final thoughts.
Final thoughts are, free Ime, dog.
Right.
Because unless he did something that was 100% worse than what they told us to begin with, free Ime.
Right.
And I also would love to see these women do to this female the same thing that they do to us.
Right.
Go out there, dig up everything you can on her, put her on blast, just like y'all would do us. So if anybody out here watching this, y'all get on Twitter. They say Twitter do your thing. Twitter do your thing. Because she getting away scot-free.
Right.
As far as public perception is concerned, she getting away scot-free. And I think I need the ladies to do their thing on Twitter and everywhere else.
Right. Sly, final thoughts.
Final thoughts, man. I'm kind of with Sweet Jones. If all he did was cheat, then this is stupid. But if he's done something worse, then yeah, he's in the wrong. And then when boys grow into men, and I do agree, everybody is right in their own sense. Everybody has their own opinion and they're right. But when boys grow into men and you have something to lose, then sometimes you got to think with your other head, with the one with the brain in it, right? So sometimes you have to turn down, like just like when you get older in your 40s and early 50s, eating a hamburger or eating candy might kill you, because you have high blood pressure or something like that. So you can't keep eating that stuff. You got to do it in moderation, right? So, once you grow up and you start to understand, because when you know better, you do better. I think then things start to change. But I do think, like you said, there is a racial undertone, because it's the same thing happens all the time. But hopefully this guy didn't do nothing stupid, but who knows?
Right, right.
We'll see when everything comes out. And everything's alleged. We don't know exactly what happened. So
right.
We just speculate.
Right. Hey, Los, final thoughts.
I enjoyed the panel tonight. Like most guys are reiterating, I would like to see both sides come out in this situation, because now it was like breaking news. I remember I forgot what I was watching that night, and I saw it go across the screen. I'm like, what the hell? Like, what do you need? And then, it's so hush hush. But today, I think they had the Celtics media day or whatever, and Tatum he said that he only found out about it through Twitter, like us. And so my thing is, I want to say free Udoka as well, because this thing has taken a turn to where I don't think it should have. Like I'm still stuck on that 100 times worse by Matt Barnes though. That's kind of like that's real weird to me.
Right.
Like because 100 times worse mean that's criminal.
Right.
I don't see no other way around that. But but hopefully everything come out.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Good thoughts. Rico, final thoughts.
You muted.
No, you're muted. You're muted.
Sorry, apologies.
Okay.
I just want to take a moment to say thank you for inviting me, Abraham. It was a great conversation. I enjoyed having the conversation. Speaking to all these gentlemen, hearing the different voices and opinions and points of views, I liked it. I learned a lot, and I hope I was able to, have the opportunity to at least give my point of view, favored or unfavored or not. It was a good conversation. I'll grow from it. I'll take, what I've learned from it. And I hope to be back again. I don't promise to be any different. But it was my first foray, into your land to see, and thank you, Ray, Sly, Rico the Plug. If I missed anybody,
Sweet Jones,
Carlos, Roy, and of course, Ray. I thank each and every one of you gentlemen for welcoming me, and I hope to be able to come back and share again. I promise to be a little bit more forceful without fear or favor.
All right. No. I mean, it was definitely good having you. Good having Los. We have like our back and forth and another group where we all share our opinions. It was definitely great having you on. I thought this was a good show. My final thoughts is I echo the sentiments of Los and Sweet Jones, that I think that if this is the best that they have, then they should free Ime. I think that what we saw was a public castration. It was designed to humiliate him publicly, to make him radioactive, that nobody else would want to deal with him, because they've known this information since July, but waited to now when the season is about to start, and to put him out there and to basically give the impression that it was either some type of almost criminal violation or sexual harassment without giving a lot of the details. And I think there's collusion on the part of upper management because their friend is hurt by the fact that his wife cheated with this brother. And so the owner and the GM railroaded him like this. And if I'm Ime, let's say they have a change of heart mid-season when they're failing miserably, I don't know that I want to come back to be a part of the Celtics. I thought what they did was very petty, and I thought it was classless. And I don't think they would have done that to him if he looked more like Larry Bird. I don't think that. But, it's par for the course. That's been our experience since we've been here. For those of you who are still in the I want to say to the panelists, just stick around in the back channel once we're done. For those of you who are still in the audience, be sure to click that like, share, and subscribe button. Until next time, remember to keep an open mind, think for yourself, and stay lit. AK on
Thank
fire.
y'all in the chat for coming in the chat. Thanks for checking us out.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.